Oh, good morning, everybody. Hey. Yes, as usual, I must take a break. I just wanted to say hello to everyone out there. And I'm going to take a break. I wanted to say hello to you. I'm going to come back, and yes, we will analyze all the Pat Cooper material. If you weren't with us yesterday, you should listen to this when we come back. All right, I'm going to get into a whole bunch of stuff, but I just want to say one thing. Yeah, I just want to say one thing, but that might never happen.
Yeah, one thing all morning?
I don't know. I read the paper, and my mind goes all over the place. I'm watching this David Letterman, Jay Leno thing. The papers, when Jay Leno comes to New York, they actually sit down and do ratings analysis in the paper about who's beating who, Dave or Jay.
It's a report card.
Who had a better show the night before.
Who had the best line? Who had the best joke in his monologue?
I am so glad I didn't go on this week.
Such scrutiny.
Yeah.
And is it helping Jay to be in New York?
So far, no.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, no, he's doing fine. He had a 5.9. Letterman had a 7.
But, see, you come to New York. When you take the show on the road, you have to win.
Yeah. Oh, week's not over yet. There you go. Well, he will win tonight. He's not going to. Last night he didn't have a good show. The night before he did, but tonight it's all guest related. He's got Bon Jovi, and he's got a really good lineup tonight. And Letterman's got kind of a lame lineup. So who has the better guess at this point? That's
pretty funny. As apparently somebody was trying to scam Bon Jovi using my name.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Ganji called me the other day and asked me if I had wanted Bon Jovi tickets because someone called Bon Jovi and said Robin wanted tickets. I didn't even know they were on tour.
Yeah. Well, do you want tickets?
Nope. So don't try doing that again. You won't get your tickets.
I heard Jay's going to chop off one of his hands tonight.
That's how he's going to get ready?
Yeah, I would tune in for that. He's going to chop off his hand. What time?
Yeah, I don't want to watch too much of the show.
Yeah, probably it'll happen after the monologue.
Okay.
That would be, good. What could he withstand every day? One day he'd have somebody hit him with a car.
Yeah.
A Super Dave kind of thing.
Well, I liked our idea yesterday for Thanksgiving to dig up Jay's mom and stuff her like a turkey. I think that's the greatest. I do. Hey, I think that's funny.
Compete mom for mom.
Right. Oh. Hey, Jackie, you sell the CDs now. When are you going to go back to cassette? I like the cassettes better.
I have CD and cassette.
Oh, you do?
Both available. I could get one for you right now.
Yeah,
it's in my bag.
Yeah, I need to tape over the cassette. I can't tape over those CDs.
They're worthless to you.
They're worthless to me. Every time he gives me a CD, I can't tape over it. I listen to it, then it's time. No, of course, I'm kidding. Jackie, you're going through the roof with his new CD and cassette.
Of course.
Unbelievable what's going on over there at the Jokeland Empire.
The television commercial will be airing all Thanksgiving weekend on Comedy Central.
Oh, there you go.
With my gorgeous wife, Nancy Sirianni Martling.
Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, shut up. Very good. How exciting.
Oh, at least say you thought it was good.
I did. Oh, I got to get out of here.
I can't wait to see it on TV.
Yeah. It's going to be different. Okay. Also, George Pataki doing a great job. The guy is unbelievable. Thank God we voted for him for governor. Already, I see, he's screaming because when the governor leaves when he leaves the mansion there, Governor Cuomo, as he's leaving, there's a couple of things here that they're going to smack us with, like they're going to raise pension amounts. And did you read about this?
Well, I was talking about it yesterday, that he was trying to make Cuomo stop doing some of that stuff so he could make the decisions when he gets into office. And Cuomo's like,
all stuff that is going to cost us money.
Yeah, it's giving people raises and promotions.
Yeah, he's going to control state spending. He's the new boss. Very nice. They want to, listen to this, they want to raise retirees' pensions and restrict the city's use of education funding. So he's trying to say, hey, put a hold on all this, okay? Give us a break.
Yeah, you're leaving, dude.
Yeah, don't stick to taxpayers with all of this. I was just excited about that. I wanted to announce that because we backed the guy, and now we see that we were right.
He's not only just, cruising around the state doing a victory tour.
Yeah.
He's watching what's going on.
Yeah, he's not doing pay-per-view specials. You know what I mean? All right. Want to take some phone calls first and then get into the Pat Cooper stuff?
Yeah, I think we ought to let some people wake up.
All right.
Before we get into Pat. We don't want them to miss it.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of cool stuff to go over with you today, and it's really, if you weren't with us during the Pat Cooper thing yesterday, you
missed some great radio.
Yeah, you missed some good stuff. Here's a bit of trivia for you. How long was Pat Cooper in the studio yelling, the actual studio yelling? The answer? 4 minutes.
No, come on. That had to be longer.
It seemed longer to me.
You know what that is?
I thought it was 7 minutes.
That's like the famous shower scene from Psycho, where it seemed like it went on forever and ever, and it's only a couple seconds.
Yeah, well, we're going to replay that.
There a half hour.
We're going to replay that, and we're going to play all new stuff you haven't heard, Pat ranting in the hallways.
I could have sworn he was here for a good 15 minutes.
Well, actually, he was ranting in the hallways for 27 minutes, so it's very exciting. And then you'll also hear Jackie and Gary trying to console Pat.
We'll see what kind of job they did. They probably threw flames, oil on the fire.
Yeah. Ambassador Jackie, the same man who antagonized Patty Davis Reagan, went out to work on Pat Cooper.
I think I actually did better with her.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
No, I haven't heard any of it, so I wanted to be surprised as well. But they know Baba Fuhai has heard it.
There had to be a lot of bleeps, Gary.
Yeah, a lot of bleeps. And then you'll hear Pat, for no apparent reason, attack other comedians and celebrities.
Yeah.
Which is maybe my favorite part.
Willy-nilly.
Who does he attack? You have to prepare us.
Chuck Norris and Richard Lewis.
Really?
What did Chuck Norris ever
Now, which one's the comedian and which one's the actor? Now, he attacks Chuck Norris and Richard Lewis.
Yes.
Wow. Pat really in rare form. But let's not find out why, because it'll be a surprise.
He must be sitting there at his radio this morning. He's waiting to hear the play-by-play. He wants to see what he did yesterday.
The alarm went off at 5:45. He put on a pot of coffee and have a cigarette.
Listen to his work.
Oh, boy.
If you want to hear the rantings of Pat Cooper, stay tuned because we're going to have it all for you. Let me take a break. I'm going to open up our phones right after these words. I told my wife last night I'm playing cards Friday night. She was like, "You're playing cards Friday night?" I said, "Oh, come on, Allison. I haven't been out of the house."
Do you ever go home and say, "Honey, I'm going to do this," and she goes, "Okay"?
No.
Oh.
It's always a discussion. It's like I said, "Allison, I haven't been out of the house in 3 months. I literally have not left the house in 3 months."
And you've been there with her all weekends and stuff?
She was like, "Well, maybe I want to go see a movie." I said, "I'm not going to a movie. Cards." Card games get very big. Evidently, I've tapped into the male psyche because everybody wants to get out of their house on Thanksgiving because everyone's calling me trying to get in on the game.
Trying to get in there. You're going to have a whole Las Vegas night going on.
Yeah, we might never go home. I'm not even sure who's playing. We don't ask Jackie anymore because Jackie's a pussy.
Jackie always had a problem anyway. He could only get out. If he could get out, he could only get out for an hour or two.
Yeah, then he'd show up and go, "Hey, doesn't anyone have any pot?" And I'm going home.
But didn't once Nancy call and they got to a big thing and he had to go home?
His wife called him in the middle of the game, and it was bumming everyone out. It was just like, "Stay away, Jackie."
Yeah.
And then he would come, because Dominic puts out a big spread of food. So Jackie comes in, he eats, he comes late, which is a no-no in cards because you have a certain amount of guys.
Right.
So he comes late, he eats, he stuffs himself with all the food from the buffet, and then the rest of the night, like he plays 2 hands of cards, screams about pot and beer, and then he says, and then Nancy calls, he's got to leave.
Gotta go.
And then he goes up to...
There's always an emergency at the Martling home.
And then he goes up to the buffet and wraps all the food up in napkins.
He takes a doggy bag.
And he goes, "Hey, it's only going to go to waste, right? Right?"
No.
What?
Take it, put it in the dumpster.
Don't want to say anything?
Well, I'm just...
You going to tell me I'm lying?
Is this on?
Yeah. Yeah.
At any point... Oh, there you go. At any point, am I allowed to inject any of the truth in?
What is the truth?
I was late because I was visiting my father, who was incredibly sick in the hospital.
Oh.
Another rotten excuse.
Yeah.
When I got... I had...
But he's been late before. It's not, like,
now, what happened the other time?
Yeah, he's always late.
If I was ever late, it was because I was in the pool where I was supposed to meet you, where you never showed up.
Sure.
That's
go ahead.
Super Bowls you're talking about.
Well, if he can mix up stories,
he's dreaming, but go ahead. All right.
I've never been late for the card game.
Your father was always sick during the card games. Go ahead, yes. The last 30 card games he was sick. Go ahead, yeah.
I was never late before.
Right.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted from working Rascals the night before, but since I had promised you guys I was coming, and I knew that the amount of people that are supposed to be there, it wrecks again. If there's too few or too many, it screws it up.
Right.
Let's admit that.
Yes.
Okay. So I tried to go. Of course, I got a little high on the way there.
Right.
So when I got there, I couldn't take the combination.
The guy was wasted.
I couldn't take the combination of Neil and Neil.
Oh, come on.
So it was a little
It
annoying.
was messing up your head.
Yeah,
I did eat
it was bringing his head down.
I did eat like a pig.
Neil was making jokes.
He's annoying. And I ate like a pig, I admit that. And
Admit Neil is the most fun at the card game.
Oh, he's in both.
You don't think so?
I love Neil.
Yeah, so how could you say he was bringing your head down?
I was stoned and he was annoying.
Okay. He was goofing on Jackie. Neil sits and goofs on everyone. That's his job.
You know what it was? I was too tired to help goof, and I just wasn't in the mood. And I got up.
It's going to be one big night of goofing on Dominic this time. I figured out how I'm going to punish
Maybe I won't
Dominic.
be there.
Yeah, I figured out how I'm going to punish Dominic. Well, go ahead.
Head.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to shave his head.
And then you started eating.
So and I got done eating like a pig. I was really exhausted, and I decided my wife wasn't supposed to be home.
Oh.
So I decided to call home and tell her that I was on my way home. I called home, and when I was leaving the message, she picked up the phone. I said, "What are you doing here? I'm on my way home." She didn't call there. I called home, and yes, I did take a doggy bag. I took everything that was left because they would have thrown it away.
From my point of view, Jackie shows up late.
Went out and fed the homeless.
Thank you for letting me put the truth in there. It must be a holiday.
No, well, I'll tell you my point of view. Jackie, here's my point of view. We decided to have cards. Instead of, if Jackie's father was sick, what he should have done was picked up the phone ahead of time, called everyone, said, I'm going to go visit my father in the hospital, and get someone else to play or something. So we get there, we're waiting and waiting.
He visited his sick father and then got high? Is that what
Yeah,
you just said?
yeah, exactly.
All right.
I'm sure he got high before he visited his sick father.
It was a Friday, Robin.
Father high.
It was a Friday.
Jackie had no idea.
I went to the hospital and copped a pot for my father.
In all seriousness, most people when they go to visit their parents have to be high. So let's not put the guy down for that. Yeah.
Don't put him down for that. Okay.
Yeah. I don't get high, but I just don't visit my parents. So
the truth is, at that point, I did not have a car phone and didn't expect to be in the hospital as long as I was.
Anyway,
that is
so yeah, okay, could have called.
And
him.
he
didn't know. Track of time.
Yeah.
And I was in traffic.
Anyway, so then he's in traffic. He's in everything. So everyone else got there, but he couldn't.
Obstacle course he ran to get
poor
to.
Jackie. He's in traffic because his eyes were barely open. He couldn't see. He was crashed into a wall. So then from my point of view,
was fine. Jackie was in slow motion.
from my point of view, we're playing cards. We're waiting for this guy. Finally shows up. We have to wait for him to finish eating. He's stuffing his food. He screams about pot for two minutes.
Wrong.
Plays two hands of cards. Gets up, making phone calls. Next thing you know, he's talking to his wife in hushed tones, and suddenly
there was no hushed tones.
I have to leave. I have to leave. And then he's grabbing.
Everyone told that story.
And then he's grabbing.
Of course, everybody told that story. That doesn't make it true.
And then he's grabbing. What do you mean is that true? Tell me where I'm wrong. And then he grabs napkins and he's shoving food into the napkins for some dog that he doesn't have.
He can't leave it. Why didn't you leave something for somebody else to take home?
Food was going to be thrown away. The food was going to be thrown away.
But you're Ralph, am I off here?
No, not at all. He asked for tins.
Yeah, he called that. Yeah. Then
wait a minute.
Now I'm turning your microphone off.
Either I was wrapping it in napkins or I asked for.
You know what? You want to know something? I admit I'm wrong. It was tins. He called down.
You said napkins.
Yeah, he called down. He starts calling down to room service.
No.
And asked for tins.
They were cleaning up, and as I said, you were going to throw this away, and instead of them throwing it away, I was going to take it with me, and they volunteered and went and got me something to put it in.
Oh, they volunteered.
Could I have some time? It would have gone in the garbage.
And then we have the room people in there.
Three lovely little kids
bringing in tins, interrupting our game. And we don't like to be interrupted during the game.
Yes.
Timmy and little boy.
Plus, he was on the phone. He was on the phone for like 10 minutes, and we're waiting for him.
Oh, but you weren't. Wait, you're over in the corner. You are learning to lie, aren't you?
No, I'm not lying.
Was I speaking in hushed tones? Ralph?
Yes, you were. You absolutely were. You never let anybody hear what you're saying on the phone. That's all private. That's love talk.
Of the huge suite
when Nancy yells at you, you don't want anyone to know.
Yes, I do.
Yes, darling. Nobody knows better than you, my dear. That's right. There wasn't a fight.
No, there was.
What? And you came back and you're like,
you know what? At one point, I was quiet. I said, "This sucks. I'm coming home."
Right. You did.
So maybe I whispered that.
Yeah, he was fighting with his wife.
I wasn't fighting with.
So what do you want from my point of view?
I didn't
what
say
is the stuttering, John?
Dominic wants to add to this.
All right.
Oh, please.
We'll get to the truth.
Cheater.
Hey, Dominic, am I right?
Not only you're right, but he made us order more food because he was late, and they brought up more food tins. He left enough food for Thanksgiving for 9 people.
Hey, by the way, Dominic, here's the deal on the card game. Forget Jackie.
Yeah.
Are you playing, Jackie? Do you actually want to play?
I have family coming to town, but I'd like to come. I have my options. So
You actually could have an option.
Your
microphone is on.
Oh, okay.
He's insane.
My head got to be hurt.
mic is on. I'm not going to talk. Well, you just feel... 3 balls in the fourth.
All right, wait a second.
My headphone... All right. These haven't worked for 2 weeks with Scott's fixing. Do you have any tins?
Anyway, Dominic, here's your punishment.
I was told already what it is.
What is
Who told you?
I have to wear a dress.
No.
Oh, good.
He'd like that.
If I hear a lot of guys want to come,
Yeah.
if we end up having 2 tables,
Yeah.
you can't sit at my table.
Oh, please. I have to kill myself.
You still have to throw money at him.
Anything, as long as I'm being forgiven by the entire group for my error.
I don't forgive
He can only visit your table when you need money.
Dominic is so fat and stupid. I got to tell you something.
That is stupid.
You know what? I very rarely get out to play cards, and I like to play cards. Even though Dominic has some sort of problem because he gets bored if we play for $1 or $2.
He likes big money.
Yeah, Dominic likes to lose thousands of dollars at one sitting. You know what I mean?
It's no fun unless he's losing millions.
Yeah, he's not satisfied. You know, Dominic, a card player can play for 10 cents. It's the idea of the win and just having fun.
Camaraderie.
Yeah. He gets crazy. He's like, the game's getting boring. And then he's in on every hand because he doesn't care if he loses $100. That's nothing.
You can't read them. You have nothing to do.
Yeah, it's really bad when you play. Because to me, you got to play it like this. Each chip is meaningful.
Right.
Forget what the value is.
What the value is.
Whether it was $5,000 a chip or 5 cents a chip, you got to play like the chips mean something.
And you want to win.
There's skill to it. But Dominic's like, okay, I'm in. And you know what? Without looking at my cards, I bet $3 million.
Yeah. Oh.
You know,
Which makes it not a game for anyone else.
Right. It's boring.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah.
Dominic?
Yeah.
At what point did you decide that you were going to fix the deck?
Well, that's what I'm building up to. Let's build up to it. And if you don't answer this honestly, you're not playing Friday.
Has he not fessed up yet?
Well, okay, I'm going to get to the bottom of it now.
All right.
So I love to play cards, and I don't get out often because my wife thinks if I leave for a night, I'm no longer in love with her.
You're locked up.
Yeah, I'm locked up. I'm such a great catch that I'm locked up. So I'm learning from Dominic what he does with his wife. He just walks out the door. She don't know where he goes for days.
See, I guess you're
By the way, Irma heard what you said yesterday. She said that she appreciates the nice things you say about her.
But what did I say? That you walk out of the house and don't...
You said she's attractive. You said she's pretty. She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she's way too good looking for you.
He doesn't hear at home.
Yeah. She has to hear him on the radio because Dominic's busy running away for 3 days. Dominic just leaves the house and tells her, look, that's it. Howard wants to play cards. I'm playing.
Howard's my wife.
In fact, he doesn't even have an explanation. He just leaves.
He loads up the trunk with money and leaves.
Yeah, it's hey, listen, you know what? And he's right.
Well, there is a portion of your life that should be yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I am no longer allowed to own my own life. And then my wife goes, well, live alone.
Oh.
And then I go...
Do you ever do this to her? She comes in and says, I'm going to lunch with the girls. I have a night out. I'm doing this. You say, oh, God
yesterday my wife comes in looking a mess in those nylon workout outfits. She goes, I just played tennis with my friends, and I got to go get my manicure, and I got it. And I'm like, whoa, what a life. How could you? And then, and she gets all this female bonding from all her friends.
Yeah.
All right, first of all...
Now, wait a second. So I get to play cards.
Yeah.
I go out, and I just like the game of chance. I enjoy it, and I enjoy being with the guys. But Fat Dominic worries he's like my girlfriend. He worries that I'm not having a good time and I'm not winning. He thinks I'm sad that I'm not winning.
He wants to stand there with you and make sure you win some money.
So I hadn't won a hand all night. So Dominic goes ahead. Now, everyone at the table trusts each other. It's not one of those games where everyone's looking at each other. And I see Dominic. He's always going through the cards. He's always with cards. He's looking at everybody's He's looking at cards. So he's shuffling through the deck. So I get an amazing hand. I get 4 aces. It's a 7-card stud game. 2 of the aces are under. And 2 of them so the best hand that it looked like I had was a pair of aces. And he even fixed it, I believe, so that the other guys would get flushes.
Yeah, I had a straight flush.
Yeah. Now, Ralph had a straight flush and is betting into me. You don't get a straight flush ever. It's 7-card stud, nothing wild. He sat there. You know why he can do it? Because no one sits and looks at what Dominic's up to. It's no great feat. Any one of us could do it because everyone trusts everyone.
But it's supposed to be an honest game.
And that's the fun of it. So anyway, yeah.
Who had a straight flush?
I did.
Ralph.
Did you fix that, Dominic?
More of a kind.
Then it was just
no, then he had
a flush, or was it? It was a flush.
It was a flush.
But a flush is an amazing.
It was like a royal flush.
May I respond?
And let me just say something.
Yeah. As a lawyer, it's hard for me to be...
So he fixes the first 4 aces I had no clue because Dan Foreman dealt. I don't know how he did it. but he did it. No one cut the deck. The second 4 aces already I caught on. I figured it out.
So you got 4 aces twice.
Yeah, I got 4 aces twice. Not in a row, but it happened again a couple of hands later.
And I had a great hand at that point, too, and I started betting into it again.
Yeah, and he gave everybody a great hand. And we got suspicious when Dominic was begging guys to stay in because he had arranged the deck. Yeah, that would throw it off.
Now, he also got 4 aces. He
even gave himself 4 aces.
I mean...
But everyone knew.
But to set that up, that's kind of difficult, Howard. So you have to have the deck prearranged. He must have switched.
All right, so tell us what happened. At what point?
Can I be first?
How'd you do it, Sean?
First, be honest.
All right, I'm going to be really honest right now. All right, number one, calling me fat and stupid's not fair.
Well,
first of all,
you're fat.
I've lost a lot of weight, and I thank God.
Yes, but you gain it all back.
No, I didn't.
Every game he says he lost a lot of weight, and he's huge as a house.
He just
But the thing is, he has lost a lot of weight. He just doesn't keep it off.
I get more chances talking to a courtroom than I do here. It's number one, I lost a lot of weight because of Dr. Gullo, Stephen Gullo. Thank you, Dr. Gullo. Number two.
What, did he keep the food out of your mouth?
Give him liposuction.
He chained the refrigerator.
He gave him liposuction.
Hey, backstage clothes.
He cut off one of my legs.
All right, so tell me what's going on.
After 8 weeks, I missed all this.
All right, now just tell me something.
I'm telling you.
You know I'm mad at you.
Not yet.
I normally would never say you're fat and stupid, but I have to attack you.
No, you've never called him stupid.
No. Well, he's not stupid, but...
Stupid. I read a book.
All right, go ahead.
Number two, Ralph getting the flush, straight flush, was just gay luck.
Was it luck, really?
Gay luck.
Gay luck. Gay luck.
That's funny.
You say that's the luck of the gays. The luck of the gays.
Gay luck.
Gay luck.
Ralph's not laughing. This must be what it's like at the card game.
It is. It is. And it's worse. It's worse.
Okay.
That's why Jackie's head got ruined.
All right. Number three, I'm now going to totally admit everything I did.
All right.
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
All right.
And this is the truth. The first 4 aces, I fixed them.
Right. I knew that.
When?
I fixed. What happened was I made up the deck, and I gave it to Dan, and he didn't cut the deck.
Right.
But I'm not the only person at the table who's fixing cards.
Who else?
Neil.
What do you mean?
Neil was trying to fix the deck, but
Me.
No, but Dan cut the cards because it was supposed to happen 3 times.
Oh, so you planned it with Neil?
No. Neil was doing it independently. Now, this is the karma that made me nuts and made me not
Wait a second. How do you know Neil was doing it independently?
Because he told me later. Now,
what, did he figure out what you were doing and decide to get in on it, too?
He caught me the first time.
But why did Neil
I don't know.
want to fix the deck?
It was a joke, but it got out of hand. Now, let me tell you part
But what
two.
did you think I'm so stupid that I wouldn't figure it out?
It was supposed to just be a joke, and it got out of hand. I haven't slept for weeks over this. You're my only friend. I lost you.
No, yeah, sure. You sound like a guy who hasn't slept.
I have no friend.
If you hadn't eaten in 4 weeks, then I'd understand that you were upset.
No,
all right, now let me get to part 2.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
And this is the God's honest truth. The 4 aces I got were legitimate. I know you're never going to believe this.
Hang up on him.
They were legitimate.
You're not playing, Dominic.
No.
I told you to come clean.
Howard, the 4 aces I could have never fixed. I got it on the 6th and 7th card. That was the karma of all this that made me nuts.
That you actually pulled 4 aces.
I actually pulled. Don't you remember when I pulled the 4 aces?
And nobody's ever going to believe it.
Yeah,
Nobody was in the hand.
No, because everyone felt at that point that he had 4 aces.
No, that's not why. There were 2 under. The last card was the ace. It was bizarre. I won like $9 from it, but it was bizarre. And then.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I really think I might pull out of the game Friday night. That's how annoyed I am with you.
No, don't do that.
Because I got to tell you something. What was
the joke? I don't get it.
You ruined my game. And guys like Ralph and Ronnie, they don't have a lot of cash, and you cost them hundreds of dollars.
I'm going to pay you off as soon as I get there. I lose thousands of dollars, and the only way to lose is what are you complaining about?
But what was the joke?
I I come there with all this money, I go home with nothing.
But you ruined the game. What was the joke? I wanted it to have a real game of cards.
Where was the joke?
And now everyone's got to sit and watch everyone else. That's what sucks. I used to like it because it was a friendly game.
I'm only going to deal with one hand. Let me just say one more thing.
I don't know.
It's like Maverick. You got to have a gun.
Yeah, everyone's going to come armed.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? Neil's going to see how much attention Dominic got from doing this, and now that's good.
Yeah.
And the whole game's going to be getting away with it.
Yeah, now it'll be jokes.
Yeah, I don't want to play with jokers. I want to play with guys who play cards.
I'll never do it again.
And you want to know something? The stakes are going up Friday night because now it's going to matter to people to win.
Listen, you're doing to me what your father did to you. When you tell the truth, you get punished more.
No, you know what it is? You act stupid, and you have to be punished. You're right. My father's, if you act dopey, then you get punished.
Yeah, I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
You got to reward honesty.
The only reason you're getting to play again is because you pay for the room and you buy the food.
Absolutely. No one really likes
it. That's the only
Why don't you
reason.
just let him serve?
What's on the menu, Dominic?
Hey, what are we eating?
I got good
Are we having a
stuff.
Thanksgiving feast?
Absolutely. Full hot turkey, stuffing, and gravy.
Shrimp? How about massage girls?
Spaghetti.
What is it?
What'd you say, Ralph?
Ronnie the limo driver's on the phone.
Ronnie the limo driver?
What did Ralph say?
Here's Ronnie.
Massage girls.
You mean massage boys?
I don't know. Is that what you want?
What is it, Ronnie?
Okay, he explained everything now. Now I want to know how, when I was betting into you and I had a full house, you had 4 aces again.
I have no idea.
Oh, come on.
No, I swear I
It just
couldn't do
happened
that.
again.
No.
It happened. We haven't.
Hey, never mind all this. Who's playing Friday night? I got to know how many guys. Because listen, Jeff Schick from IBM and Eddie want to play too.
Now the
Fast
game's
Eddie?
out of control.
Fast Eddie.
You see, I let you get involved. It's out of control. Now I get everyone.
Ronnie, are you playing?
Yeah, is he sitting at the other table?
Well, we're going to see now. Let's see how many guys we have. Hey, Ronnie, are you playing?
Yeah.
Because Ronnie was like all of a sudden pussying out.
Really?
Well,
Now
I
that's
wasn't
surprising.
picking it out, but I don't feel like getting ripped off by Dominic.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I want you to think of our Atlantic City trips. Take that back right now. It could mean a lot of money.
Ronnie, you shouldn't say anything.
Ronnie's like Dominic's bitch. Whenever Ronnie starts losing, Dominic just throws money on him.
Ronnie throws like $1,000 under Ronnie's bed.
Yeah, Ronnie, how can you complain?
Ronnie, will you
I
take...
want an honest card game.
Ronnie, will you
I'm not
take...
a big card player, and I want an honest card game.
Ronnie, will you take that back right now?
to play a smart card.
Hey, what happened to Fafafui? I thought he wanted to play.
Is he out?
Are there going to be a lot of strangers at this game? Because I want to know, okay, can I bring my stuff and sell it?
Yeah, bring some tapes.
Hey,
No, I think you know Jeff and you know Eddie. I think you don't know
we're
Eddie,
gonna have
but
like 2 tables, like 10
let's have
guys?
2 tables. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And is Dan playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not missing it.
I'm not really upset over what Dominic.
All right, so how many guys is that?
Playing.
That's Dan, that's Jeff, that's Eddie, that's
Wayne,
Jackie. Are you really playing?
Don.
I think I'm going to play. I got a lot of family coming into town.
So you want to get away from these
No,
guys?
but sometimes they come over in the morning, and then I'm free at the,
right.
I'll know by today.
All right, forget Jackie. He's not going to play.
Jackie, what about if I have a case of beer you can put in your car?
I'll be there waiting for you when you get there. Make it 3 cans.
All right. You can't count on. I'm not getting a definite, so I can't count. If Jackie shows up, fine, but we got to count on the guys who are going to play.
You got Wayne.
Wayne, Neil. What about Don?
Wayne's
Don
coming?
says yes.
Okay, and Ralph.
Yeah.
Only
of
if
course.
Dominic makes rest.
Ralph will sit at his own table.
Yeah, but
Ralph play by
Dominic
himself?
wouldn't call Ralph and invite him. I had to call him.
I know.
I-
Dominic will never call Ralph because
Really?
he thinks Ralph's gay.
No, I don't.
What, do you think you can catch it over the phone?
No, I have nothing against... I have
He hates
nothing...
Ralph. He hates Ralph with a passion.
I do not. Oh,
It's just
you
he's
a
jealous
liar.
of your relationship.
Yeah,
with
Dominic
You know
hates
what?
Ralph because
I
Ralph.
gotta tell you this. One time, Dominic got me alone, and he says, "That's Ralph. I don't know about him. He hangs around Howard all the time. Howard has to be very careful."
Yeah, that's my protected Dominic. I'll tell you who I have to be careful of. Dominic.
Oh, Howard?
Yeah.
Take that back right
I'll hang out with Ralph anytime.
And I'm not going to repeat what Robin's response was.
Oh, I was revving you up, Dom.
But-
See where you
I
go.
want to hear.
Robin, Atlantic City.
Dominic, come clean, man. What was your answer?
Yeah, come on, Dominic.
Okay, I've got 2 also guest appearances. Are you ready?
Who's coming, Senator D'Amato?
Senator D'Amato will most likely be there, but ready
no.
for this.
Who?
Pat Cooper.
Oh, stop it.
So funny.
Someone told me Pat Cooper was on another radio station yesterday. Say he was gonna beat me up.
Good. You can't get James Garner. Maybe you can get something to go.
I'm gonna have to beat up Pat Cooper.
I wouldn't miss that too far.
How funny is that?
Now he's gonna beat you up.
Yeah, he's gonna beat me up.
That's
I
very
wouldn't
rational.
joke about it.
What?
I wouldn't joke about Pat Cooper. I think we finally reached the taboo point.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play the tapes. It's really funny.
Oh, no.
All right, how many guys are playing now? Can someone count? Was somebody write beside? Why am I always writing?
Ready?
All right, hold on.
Now, quick.
Wait. All right, go ahead. I'll count on my fingers.
Howard.
That's me.
Dominic.
Go ahead.
Neil.
Right.
Wayne.
Go ahead.
Ralph.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Go ahead. Jeff and Eddie.
Go ahead.
And your brother-in-law's coming?
My brother-in-law.
Dawn.
Right, that's
Neil's
10.
Friend.
10.
Put me as an alternate. And
Dan.
And what about Fafa Fooey? Where is he in this?
He's never come in to say whether he's going or not. He's probably not going to.
If you want 2 tables, I get Stuttering John probably if we have to.
Oh, all right. Dominic, could you put
What happened, Fafa? Your wife tell you no?
No, she didn't tell me no.
What happened?
I told you that it wasn't about my wife. I told you it was about my nephew coming to town.
You can't find that out?
I may be there.
How about all the
Now, what is this maybe? You know what?
If I show up,
And you know what? Ronnie reminded me about you. The first time you showed up at a card game. What did you tell me yesterday, Ronnie, about Fafa Fooey?
Well, you came to the game and that was it. That was the last time.
Yeah, and we invited him.
You know what?
We invited him every time.
Ronnie, I've never been to a card game.
That's not true. You played once.
Where? When?
You played once.
Time ago.
No,
Even when we take the tour bus, I always invite you to play. You sit there and sleep with your mouth open.
I've never played cards with you guys ever. I've never played cards with you guys. You guys are all
Do you
wrong.
want to play? You told me yesterday you wanted to play. Then all of a sudden you remembered you had Baby Jackson and Mary.
Oh.
You want to play, man?
I'm sorry, I can't
you want to be a
afford to have
man or a
somebody-
pussy? You want to play? I'm inviting you now.
I don't
You
know.
keep saying you know.
The answer is I don't.
Then you're
I
out.
don't.
Goodbye. Get out of the room. Out of the room,
I want to
pussy.
be at his table. He doesn't know how to play.
Yeah. Get out.
Gary, all the dental floss you need.
Ronnie still don't know how to play. He's played in 100 card games, so it doesn't stop him. Ronnie still hasn't figured out how to play poker. Still needs 7 guys helping him.
And he's angry at Dominic because he doesn't know if he cheated.
I feel Dominic. Oh, Robin.
Gary goes, I don't play a lot. I'm nervous. I go, no one there knows how to play.
Yeah, really, Gary.
Yeah, what happens if you don't know how to play? Like
Gary's-
your life is ruined?
Gary's out. He's a big talker. No one invites me. I just invited him. He goes, oh, I can't. My nephew's going to... Like the nephew has to sit there and be entertained by Baba Booey.
I better call Charlie Hammond and order food for 30 then.
The nephew is 7 years old. And
No, he's a teenager. He doesn't even want to be with his uncle anymore.
yeah, no one understands that. He wants to sit there with Fafa Fooey.
He wants to go see girls.
Yeah. My nephew's coming in. I got, like, Fafa Fooey. What are you going to do with your nephew on Friday night?
I was actually probably going to take him to see Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh, I see. You up.
He wants to go in. Hey, believe it, you guys think I'm a moron. He lives 1,500 miles away. He still thinks I'm a cool guy.
I doubt it.
He's putting up with you.
Oh, yeah.
How old is he? Does he know how to play cards?
Yeah, he's almost 15.
I don't want no 15-year-old there.
Probably plays better than us.
Please.
Ralph does.
Can I ask you?
Ralph wants to know, is he cute?
He's got that little peach fuzz under his nose. You'll love that. It's a certain flaxen hair. Seriously, I really don't know if I'm any good. Are you guys any good?
No.
Gary, believe me. Believe me. You'll fit right in.
John and I were
Scared. You're just like a baby.
No, John and I were just saying how we're both like really bad card players, and it's embarrassing because I used to play with guys
John
that were
won
good.
the last time he came.
John
won a lot of money.
I used to play with guys that were good, and they really make fun of you. They make like guys who could I used to play with guys who would say,
Listen, do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Make fun of you anyway.
Sit this one out. Go be with your nephew.
Gary, can I
All right,
say
goodbye.
one thing?
I'm an idiot. I want to beat my family.
Good.
Gary, never make fun of you.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, we would never make fun of you, Gary.
Oh, would it be brutal or not?
Your plate would be toothpaste.
Oh.
Don't you think it's going to be kind of weird with 2 tables?
I don't know.
We'll have fun.
We'll have fun.
We can all switch.
Look, whoever wants to show a dopey, why do you announce, Dominic, I got to hang up on you. There's something wrong with you.
again.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're not thinking clearly. Don't announce everything.
Oh, okay, we're
every
not
little
playing
detail. You dope.
Send out a map and tell everybody where we're going to be.
Yeah, why don't you draw a map? All right, goodbye. You know what? I'm not playing now.
Oh,
You're so stupid. You're so dumb.
This is sickening.
Get some surfers down.
Howard, we've been talking when we're playing for...
He loves his airtime, don't he?
We got to do something to him.
We should pink belly him.
I don't know if you guys have enough guys to pink belly Dominic.
There's not enough hands.
We need a fire department.
All right, so who's playing? You're playing?
Yeah.
I'm going to play.
If we come
Jackie, you playing or
I
not?
think so.
All right, Jackie's playing. So this is probably
You
about...
never ask Fred because Fred's not a card player.
He doesn't play. He's a drag.
Yeah.
No one wants to be with Fred.
Right.
Sit there and
Wouldn't that
open.
be funny?
What, so he drinks and falls on his face again? We tried going out with Fred.
And I did better the second
Fred
day.
always causes a commotion.
Yeah. He doesn't say anything, doesn't add to the room, and then just falls on his head, and everyone's going to go to the hospital, and the night ends early. We were having a great time.
Did good the second time. Too.
Yeah.
Run everybody down.
All right. I got to come back and take a few phone calls.
Blood to death, you bastard.
I'm going to play a few commercials. I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to play the Pat Cooper stuff because it's so good.
All right.
At the risk of being beaten up. And we'll be back right after these words. I was watching this HBO 2 weekends ago with Whitney Houston in South Africa.
I missed that. I only saw the tail end where she was running around.
Oh, she can talk up a storm, this one.
She talks?
Oh, talks through the whole damn show, and I don't know. There wasn't one song I recognized, and...
You didn't recognize I Will Always Love You from The Bodyguard?
She did it so bad
really?
that the song was unrecognizable. You know, they feel they have to change. They get bored with it. We very rarely get to hear her do it live, but she forgets that. She thinks, you know, she went to South Africa, and every minute she's screaming is African, and no hits. Lots of introducing the players of the band. I was in on it for one song. The introducing of the band must have gone on for 15 minutes. I don't know. What do I know? So I
saw the end of it, and it was her, like, jumping on her husband again.
I didn't see the husband there.
Yeah, he came, you know, at the very end, while they're rolling credits.
Oh, really?
She's over in the corner making out.
And those South Africans look really backward. I mean, wow, when they were dancing around out there. Wow.
Looked like a tribal meeting.
It sure did. It was wild.
I love you.
The whole time. I love you.
Well, they didn't love
South
her.
Africa.
From what I hear, the press she got was terrible.
Yeah.
Mandela. Maumbe bauma kaya.
You know, she learned some South African phrases.
Speaking South African?
Yeah. Well, shut up and sing. Everyone's a statesman. Whitney Houston.
Well, I thought it was, you know, the way HBO was promoting it, you'd think something was really going to happen. She was going to give a concert.
Yeah, to a bunch of rubes.
See it now, live, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Goes to South Africa.
Yeah. I wish she would have stayed there.
I have been to Asia and sung for Asian people.
Yeah.
I have been to China.
Yeah. And she's one of those.
I've sung for Chinese people.
And when she talks real slow, so everything's real important.
Now I am here. I am home. And when you look at me, I hope you see you.
All dopey stuff. Oh, so you saw some of it.
I saw the speech.
Yeah, right. No, but that was going on all night.
Oh, no.
Hello. Hello, people of Earth. Hello. Hello, my plate-lipped fans. Clap your breasts if you like the music. Hello, people of Earth. Hello.
What was that speech?
It was something like, I've been to China. And
I've been
Chinese people
to China. I've sung to Asians. And now I sing to you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Now go home and eat rhinoceros duty. There is nothing to eat. Lay down your spears and dance. Dance. Dance, you bastards.
All right. There was some concert and talking and speeching and every minute
and this is my band and these are my dancers, but I stole them from my husband, the Bobby Brown dancers. And I said, Bobby, I'm taking the dancers. And the Bobby Brown dancers are with me. Oh, you are so different than the American blacks. Where are your squeegees?
She was making speeches about South Africa.
We are free.
I mean, oh, man. Patronizing. When was she locked up? I don't know what she was saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, when she was carrying on about being home, I said, I'd like to see you live in one of those townships.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Which township did you come from?
You'll last for a minute.
Stop boiling missionaries and listen to me, damn it. I've been saying important things.
Look, These are words.
Words defeat peoples.
This is paper. Read.
Stop boiling. Boiling water competes with my voice. Very good. And she's yelling it. By the end of the show, she had no voice left.
Really?
It was funny, I got to admit, but I don't think that was the desired effect they were going for.
I just wonder with this husband why. I mean, every time she does a concert now, I was like thinking, oh, this is good. No Bobby Brown. And then the credits, she's got her leg up and he's humping.
Really? Because I didn't think he was there, but I guess I missed that.
And the audience is applauding because she's doing this on stage.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. Anyway.
Bobby and I will have sex for you.
Boy, he sure looks wrong for her, I'll tell you. That's a mismatch.
Terrible match.
Yeah. He looks like a bank robber.
And his career has gone to pot.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point you can say, well, at least he's a singer, too, and he makes money. Now, I don't know what he does. Maybe he carries her bags. I don't know.
Would have been funny if the South Africans started shooting those darts into her ass.
Little blowguns.
Little blowguns. Shut up, sing. Anyway, you want to do the Pat Cooper stuff? You want to take a couple of phone calls and then do Pat?
Well, you said you were going to take phone calls.
All right. I'm a man of my word. You're on the air, the exciting Howard Stern Show.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Okay. You must be putting me on.
No. Howard, I'm a film student out in California.
Ah, film student.
Yeah, and I sent you 300 letters last month trying to get on private parts. I called your production company and everything, but I'm just having a lot of trouble. What do
you want to do?
Direct?
If you'd like to direct, stand in line.
Well, no, I mean, I can't direct.
Listen, I don't know what... Listen, here's the story on the movie, okay?
Yeah.
I am under contract to Reicher Entertainment. They are developing a script around my book. I am very...
Oh, yes, we saw those two writers last week. What have they gone and done?
They went and left. I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them. I met them once. What have they done? They went back to Los Angeles. That's what they've done.
Oh.
I haven't heard from... Supposedly there is a script being developed. I am waiting to read the script. If it is good, I'll do it. I only want a good script. I will not disappoint my fans. If the script's no good, we'll go back to the drawing board. That's all.
Okay.
I want to do a movie. Listen, I got a built-in box office. Can you imagine if my movie was opening this weekend?
Oh, forget about it.
Let me tell you something. Listen, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the biggest star in the world. Mm-hmm. He can't do a $30 million night on pay-per-view. I did it. I know the movie's big, and Reicher knows. Listen, Reicher would like to release a movie tomorrow. They get a little over-anxious. They want to go, well, let's do this script. I said, look, it's got to be a script that's true to the book, and it's got to be funny, and we'll do it.
Like I said, Howard, I will do anything it takes to work on the set of your film.
Well, listen, I don't know what you do. I don't hire people. Reicher is going to hire the people.
Howard, I showed you this guy's, he did really send us 300 letters. Remember, they were in orange envelopes?
I saw that. I said, that is a mental patient. Throw them out.
And now he keeps writing us, saying, hey, how come you didn't respond to my 300 letters?
When you get 300 letters from a person, it's scary. It's scary.
Were they all different? Or
no, they were exactly the same.
Written in blood.
I mean, I had the...
What do you want to do? I don't understand. I don't understand the film business. You're a student of film. Explain to me what it is you do.
Well, right now, all I'm doing is writing short scripts and...
Let me tell you something. Here's a guy who took the time to write me 300 letters, which is no easy feat, believe me.
Were they handwritten?
No, they were done on a computer.
Who knows what? But meanwhile, he had to seal them. You had to seal them and address them.
A lot of stamps.
Yeah, the guy went through a lot of stamps. It took time.
All right.
And I appreciate his moxie. But let me tell you something. He then gets through. It's 1,000,000 odds to get through to me on the phone. He gets through to me on the phone. I say, well, what have you done? And he goes, well, all I've ever done...
Nothing really.
Yeah, nothing really. That was the first word. You don't know how to sell yourself. Tell me what you want to do on my film.
I would just like to be...
But you want to stand there? I can't imagine you being hired to stand there at the film.
I would be an assistant to anyone. I would like to maybe be an assistant to sound or...
Why would they give you the job over someone else is what Howard is asking you.
I'll work for free.
Oh, you'll work for free.
Oh, well, that's a good reason. Okay, well, let us contact you. Gary, get this guy's number.
I just realized he spent $84 on stamps alone.
All right, he's willing to work for free.
He's not going to break the budget.
How many guys are willing to... And he's got experience. What film school do you go to?
I go to Orange Coast College.
Oh, some of our greatest filmmakers have come out of there.
Did Spielberg go to Orange Coast?
Yes, Melvin Spielberg, the great brother of Steven Spielberg, the little-known Spielberg. All right, listen. I don't know anything about it. I want you to contact the great film producer David Kirkpatrick.
Write him 300 letters.
Write him 300 letters, because he'll read every one of them. He has nothing to do all day.
You know, Howard, this is an excellent opportunity to tell all your fans that writing here, which everyone's been doing and sending all sorts of junk, you don't have anything to do with that.
Right.
Goes to the Reicher office.
Exactly.
Yeah, I realize you don't have anything to do with it, but I've tried everything else. I tried calling your company. They told me it was a waste of time and all that stuff.
I don't know how one gets involved in these things, to be honest with you.
You are going to have to figure that out.
It's very overwhelming. Listen, when I first was in college and I wanted to get into radio, I used to sit there and go, how do I get into radio? And you want to know what I figured out? Want to hear? You want some advice?
Seriously, I do.
I'm not saying I know anything, but I'll tell you what I figured out. Doesn't mean you have to figure this out. Most people never figure it out. So I said, you know, there's only two ways into radio. One is if you're an announcer, and the other is if you're a salesman. I would rather be a lawyer than a salesman. And I think lawyers are scum. I could never be a salesman. I appreciate what they do, but I can't do it. So I said, well, I'm going to be an announcer. I figured that out at 5. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
All right. So then I went out, and I went to this college, and I volunteered at the radio station. And I put together a tape of me talking into a microphone. And I took the tape around, and I cut my hair off, and I made myself a nice presentation. I made a resume and a tape. And I went around to all these stations, these dumps, for $4 an hour, and I handed in my tape. Now, I would suspect in the film industry it works the same way. In other words,
there's some entry level that you go through.
Yeah, meaning, did you ever make a film?
Yeah.
You made a film? What?
I have.
I can't hear you. Speak up.
I've made a few short films.
You made a short film?
Yeah, I made like one that was.
What was the film about? What?
It was about this guy Marty who's trying to get laid.
Marty, you ever see the movie? Do you ever see the movie Marty?
No,
There's a movie Marty about a guy who can't get laid. It stars Ernest Borgnine. You ever see that?
Yeah, I know.
You went and made the same movie.
You know, you got great ideas, but somebody had them first.
Yeah, right. What's next? Alice in Wonderland?
Terminator. No, I know that there was a character back. You know.
Oh, you made a sequel to Marty.
Sort of.
Updated Marty.
Updated Marty. Who starred in that?
And who?
You should make a movie about a retard. Those are big now. This Gump.
You know what I'm thinking of?
All right.
I have figured out. He's good at. He should mail himself to a film company.
All right.
He's good at mailing.
If I could call.
So listen to me. What I'm saying is, I suspect you take these films that you make, and you bring them around to some studio where maybe they'll recognize that you're good with a camera or you've got some sort of eye.
No, that's not what you do.
Well, that's what you do.
You go and you get to know these people, you interview, and then you get a free internship.
Oh, well, I never did an internship. I never did that.
I'm trying to
while he's in college.
Oh, I see. Well,
listen to Robin. She's saying get an internship.
So then do it. So call up Reicher.
The star of the movie.
Of your film.
So call up Reicher and say you're available to work for free on the set.
Can I use you as a reference?
As a ref, I don't know you. How could you ask that dopey question?
I know.
Go over there. What you know what you do? Put on a suit, get yourself a haircut. Say, listen, go over and walk in and knock on their door.
Isn't his great college affiliated with anyone?
Great college, Orange County College.
Yeah, no, it's Dan Quisenberry went there.
Yeah. Who's that?
I don't know. Some baseball player.
Listen, if I was you. First of all, you're going to do a movie. Do something you know about. Do a movie about a moron in his 20s with no idea what he's doing, who mails letters to people. And I would go see that.
The film should be you doing that 300 mailing.
You should be filming yourself. So listen, you hear what I'm saying? You got to, in other words, you got to use ingenuity. There must be a way. You got to go to one of your professors there who never did anything with their lives, and you got to say to them, how do I get into this film industry? What could I do? Could I do an internship? Do you have any contacts that I could speak with? You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Because me, I don't know you from a hole in the wall.
I know, I understand.
I'm not interested in you. To me, you look like you're crazy. All right?
All right. Thanks a lot, Howard. I appreciate your advice.
I try to listen, I could even advise you more. You know what my main advice is? Eat a pizza. I'll tell you why. I'll take away the taste of those 300 stamps they're probably in your mouth. All right? That you wasted your money on.
All right.
All right, very good.
Thanks a lot, Howard.
All right. I hope that helped you.
Okay.
See, he needs a lecture, this kid.
Where are the parents? He's calling the radio for advice.
Something wrong with him. Well, you try to offer a helping hand. Hi, you're on the air.
Howard.
Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
I'd like to know what you were talking about with those TV specials and Warren Littlefield. How are they connected?
Now, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you sure do.
What TV specials?
Oh, I heard you mention some TV specials with the Zookeeper press conference.
Well, I have a production company.
Oh, yeah. So they're producing TV.
And I didn't say anything about Warren Littlefield.
Oh, you've been praising him?
I praise him because I read about the man. The man's a genius.
Oh, you just read about him. He wouldn't have anything to do with any of your TV specials.
I don't know him.
Is this guy on to something, Howard?
I don't think so. No, I really don't. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you should be.
Because I praise. You mean if I praise someone, that means they're gonna.
Yes.
I'm doing something.
Yes,
oh, that's praising, and then they're smooching someone's buttock.
No. Look, I read about Warren Littlefield and some of the accomplishments this man.
Where did you read?
What?
Where did you read?
I read. I don't remember what publication.
Yeah.
No, I am a big fan of Warren Littlefield, as I am of Howard Stringer over at CBS.
So he's talking about both of them.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. I happen to think that there's some bright executives in the television business today, and too often you see them.
It's been a whole week.
Too often you see them getting, blasted. It's easy to get on and criticize, but I see this NBC lineup and some of the things they're putting on, like Seinfeld and Mad About You, all these shows, and I see the progress that has been made with ER and all these different shows that I know Warren writes himself.
Yeah.
And I praise him. I praise people when they do well. I hail him.
And until he turns you down.
I have no business going on with him.
And Howard, replace Conan. Get him off the air. Perfect time spot.
Listen. I can't imagine that someone would want me to replace Conan.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I got to be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All I know is
Conan
I read in the newspaper that Warren Littlefield doesn't want to go down as the man who lost the NBC late night franchise.
I am embarrassed.
I have to think
First of all,
something's going on.
There is nothing going on, I assure you.
He says that you praise him. I don't know.
Well, you guys, you know what? This is like
I'm putting two and two together.
You know, I feel like OJ. I'm being convicted before. There's a lot of evidence, but there's
blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere. No. In all seriousness, let me say something. Let me go on record because this is misleading people. You guys just sound like the retarded Columbo. Let me say something.
No, we ought to team up.
This guy. Let me tell you something. This guy on the phone is a retarded Columbo, and you're getting sucked into his stuff.
I read you like a book.
Yeah. Why you're a very bright guy. Let me tell you something. You're a very bright guy.
Thank you.
As you know and you've read, Conan, first of all, has been renewed. I am not up for any Conan slot.
It's a real solid contract.
It's a
real solid contract.
It's a 13-week contract.
13-hour contract. They can get rid of him at any time. No. And while I think it would be a bold programming move, certainly. I don't know that.
It's something that Warren Littlefield would be willing to do. I mean, he's a mover and a shaker. True.
First of all, Warren Littlefield is one. He knows that I could never beat Tom Snyder. That would be really hard. That would be really difficult. Could you imagine for one instant, if any of this was true, and which I assure you it is not, but if it was true, could you imagine the look on Tom Snyder's face?
Oh, he would die.
He would die. The guy would just collapse into a heap.
You know how he feels about you already. You ruined him before.
But unfortunately, I must tell you that none of this is true. I must deny it vigorously.
Don't believe a word he said.
No, don't. Why are you saying that? You're making me look strange here, and then it's not going to come true, and then I'm going to look foolish.
Oh, boy.
I'm working on film now. I am too busy for television.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to go on in that slot, immediately Letterman and Leno would look like two old men. Snyder would be off the air, and it would change the course of late-night television. Why would somebody do that? Network executives don't do that. No. In all seriousness, I'm embarrassed by it.
You're going to be serious now?
Yeah, I am being serious. I assure you that this is not going on.
Yeah, how embarrassed was Conan when he came into your show?
No, listen. Conan, no. Why are you saying that? Why? Who has had I haven't even had a conversation with this guy. You guys are out of your minds.
You haven't had a conversation. You know what? You are full of it.
How would you know what I'm up to?
Full of it.
Wouldn't I come in here and tell you if I had a conversation?
Nope.
I wouldn't want you to get excited. What?
You don't mention Warren Littlefield's name with a nice thing to say for 15 years, and all of a sudden he's your god for the last 3 weeks.
No. Listen, let me tell you something. You can be suspicious all you want, and you can suppose anything.
Just in case.
I have said the same things about Rupert Murdoch and Howard Stringer.
I'm glad you brought up Rupert Murdoch.
Howard Stringer.
Rupert Murdoch is a genius.
Because you lied to me about Rupert Murdoch for months, right?
I had to. I was in a negotiation. I couldn't do that. No. In all, look.
What? In all what?
In all seriousness,
Not honesty.
I am denying it categorically. And I am telling you categorically.
You know what happens? I read a little blurb.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair to Conan.
I want to talk to this
You're
guy.
making up. You guys are
100% untrue.
100% untrue. 100%
I don't know what
untrue.
they're talking about. I'm not saying they're talking about Conan's flood and
It's not Conan, that's for sure.
Well, they're talking about something, you see.
Well,
But
they got to get Leno out of there. Lord knows he isn't doing anything.
But I'll see a little something about him having lunch with somebody out in Hollywood.
Me?
Hollywood.
Yes.
When did you read that?
Oh, this was months ago.
Oh.
And you swore to me you hadn't even been in Los Angeles.
Well, listen, certain things have to be confidential.
You have fibbed in the past.
Listen, I don't even know what state my film writers live in. How do I know what I'm doing? I met them once. They brought in 2 kids. I don't know. 2 punks. What?
The Bobbsey twins.
The Bobbsey twins walked in here.
It looked like she was out of high school.
I know.
It looked like they won a half an hour of sitting in the studio.
When's the movie coming out?
I just explained to the previous caller.
I understand, but what's the target date? Within 3 months.
I'm going to tell you something. Look, Reicher, the film studio, had an ETA of spring. I said to them all along, you can't have an ETA of spring. I got to see a script that makes sense, one that's going to make my audience laugh. Yes, we're going to have a big first weekend. Yes, you're going to make tons of dough the first weekend. But I want a movie of substance. I want a movie that the audience will laugh at and have fun with.
What about the other markets? The markets you're not on it. I mean, the movie's not going to be big there, I don't believe.
Of course. Well, of course, your logic is 100% right. Any movie that comes out is heard on in every radio station. What's wrong with you? You think Forrest Gump had a radio station show that you don't have to be on in a market to know it? You hear it's a movie, a funny movie.
Tom Cruise has been doing radio all over the country.
Oh, that's right. Tom Cruise has a national radio show. That's why he's such a big star. You're dopey. That's what I'm saying. You're dopey about Warren Littlefield. You're dopey about Howard Stringer. You're dopey about network specials, and you're dopey about the movie.
I mean,
I can't talk to you.
New York fans can fit into one movie theater, you know?
No, listen to me. Listen to me. I happen to be known all over the country. The E-Show is in 27 million homes. The pay-per-view did $30 million in one night. I don't even need the whole friggin' country.
What was that?
Wait, you think I need some rube from Kentucky going to my movies? For God's sake.
I teach him something.
If he has 750.
If you have 750, you can go, but I don't need them. Look, here's the point. Everyone smells tremendous box office. In fact, there was one point, there was no script, and Reicher said, let's release the movie tomorrow. It'll be blank, but people will go see it. They won't know the difference. They'll think it's avant-garde.
They just stand there.
They'll stare at it and go, oh, Howard really did it this time. He put a blank screen.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, cutting edge.
He's out there.
Half of you would have written me and loved it.
Could you believe what he did?
Jamie Bernard would have given it 3 stars. I'm telling you. Breakthrough.
A blank screen. He's broken all the walls.
Yeah, Stern broke the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th walls in his film.
It was wonderful.
Let me tell you something.
The Emperor's New Movie.
Yeah, a blank screen. A lot of you would have gone to see it, admit it.
So what are some new markets you're working on? Radio markets.
Wait a second. You asked the question. I'm trying to tell you what my plan is here.
Okay, sure.
So I have said all along, my deal with Reicher Entertainment is, when a script of value is presented, we will go and start shooting immediately. But the scripts haven't been right yet.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's not a typical book. It's not like Interview with a Vampire. You take the book.
I've ever read.
What?
It's the best book I've ever read.
What is?
But nobody's
Your
ever
book.
seen a book
My
like
book,
it.
yeah. My book is so different. It's got...
Nobody knows how to adapt it.
It's got to be adapted properly. Do you understand? The project's got to be handled properly. I'm not going to... Listen, I could burn you, put out a bad movie, but you'll hate me for it. I want to make sure it's a quality movie.
I won't hate you for it, but I feel bad for you.
What?
I said I wouldn't hate you, but I feel bad for you.
Right, exactly. I'm not going to embarrass myself in a bad movie. That's ended careers. Mm-hmm. I have a beautiful career going.
You don't want to end this.
I don't want to end this nightmare. I don't want this to be over. Listen.
I'm supposed to move to Kansas in about 6 months. I want to know when the hell you're going on to Kansas.
I don't know. It doesn't look good.
This is not our market.
The federal government is after me in a big way. I still can't believe it, but Bill Clinton, the clock is ticking, and if you want my support, and I can convert a lot of votes, I think you saw what I did in the governor's election in Jersey, New York, and I suspect I helped you the last time around.
Yeah. But who are you going to go for?
What do you mean? I don't care. If Clinton does not get this monkey off my back, and I don't mean Fred, I'm talking about the FCC. If Clinton doesn't get this monkey off my back, that's it.
Yeah. Robin, when's your book coming out?
In the spring. I do have an ETA.
Now, she has an ETA. She's been working very hard, and I can't wait to read this.
So when's Jackie's book coming out?
Jackie?
Yeah.
Probably beat Robin.
Oh, you know he's writing it.
I got a book called Raunchy Riddles. Jackie's printing it himself. See, that's not fair to have.
Homestead Productions.
Jackie's smart. He doesn't wait for a publisher.
How long before he's off the show?
Jackie, 11 months he retires.
Yeah.
Everyone's
problem with me, Pat?
Yeah, I believe that, just like you have no negotiations with Warren Littlefield.
Oh, stop it. That really is wrong. I really do not know the man, although I would die to meet him because he's my hero.
11 months,
All right? Thank you.
All right.
I understand the man is gorgeous.
You even like his looks.
He's a carrot-topped.
Redhead.
Fiery redhead.
Does he have a beard?
Yes.
Oh, so you've been studying.
He has a mole on his left ass cheek. I have no idea what he looks like.
A pirate.
A pirate. He's a pirate. Swashbuckling.
TV.
That's funny. That's how rumors get started. And I'll tell you something.
Well, don't you love him?
What, the room? Yeah, I like that people think that. I just wish one of them would come true. Wish somebody would have a conversation with me.
All I know is you've been taking a lot of meetings, and I don't know who with.
Fa-fa-fooey.
I'll make a movie.
I didn't do it. Leave me alone.
All right, we got to do the Pat Cooper stuff next. The phone calls have been extra stupid today. We need to get going. Let's do the Pat Cooper stuff. Everyone's waiting for it. Let's face it, that's the show today.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after these words. Jackie remembers when you caught on fire.
To the Howard Stern
It's
Show.
unbelievable.
Once again, Howard Stern.
I lost my life for my art.
You sure did. Anyway, let's get to the Pat Cooper stuff. So let me quickly set this up. This will take me 2 seconds. Yesterday, we're sitting here on the air, and, you know, in all seriousness, we had Pat on. We've had Pat on over the years. I love Pat Cooper, and quite frankly, I see other radio stations now use Pat Cooper, and I see Letterman interested in Pat Cooper, and I really do believe we had a hand in that. We had Pat Cooper on. He was always brilliant on our show.
Yeah, he couldn't get arrested on their shows. He was always trying to get on.
Yeah.
He couldn't understand why they didn't want him.
Well, I love Pat, and still do, despite everything you're going to hear. But
there are a lot of people in the audience who don't understand why you're being so magnanimous.
Well, because I think that this is the Pat Cooper M.O. I from what I know and people who know him, he burns every bridge. So it's just, you know, I'm just the next person in line. But I don't even care because it's so entertaining. But what we're about to hear is Pat. Let's start this way by saying Pat...
Well, you know, there's something I thought about. First of all, let me just say that Pat has always depicted himself as a humble guy.
Yeah.
And there's not a humble bone in his body.
No. I called my father last night. He says, well, yeah. He says, you know, the guy has no sense of humor about himself.
Yeah.
He says he has a sense of humor, but he has no sense of humor about it and fails to see the sense of humor in this. He fails to see the humor in this because it's funny. I mean, there was a bunch of people who called in independently. And I don't doubt for a minute that Pat might have blown off some steam about me to different people. That's Pat's way.
Well, he certainly blew off a lot in here to your face yesterday.
Yeah, so I don't doubt that he thinks all these things of me. But and Robin will attest this, I don't really care what people think of me. If they're entertaining, I enjoy them. And everybody has their quirks, just Pat has a lot of quirks.
But that's what makes him beautiful.
Yeah, that's what makes him entertaining.
Because he lays them out.
So we've gotten several phone calls from different people over a course of weeks that, hey, I ran into Pat in the village, he was bad-mouthing you. And you know our fans, Robin, they love to go up to anybody who's a guest on our show and get them going.
Yeah.
And then they love to call to us and report because, you know.
They're always checking to see what you say about Howard when you're not around him.
So, I don't know. So Pat, was at the post office, and he said, according to these people, now Pat says he never said any of these things, and that's cool, too.
Well, no, Pat didn't exactly say that. He says, why don't you ever talk about how I praise you?
Yeah, he didn't exactly say he didn't say these things. So
He said he counterbalances.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I called him up, and I said, hey, we got some people on the phone who think that you've been bad-mouthing me. They heard you say it. And you go, who are these people? Why do you trust them? And blah, blah, blah. And he went off like crazy. I said, boy, that was great. I said, well, let's have Pat in. And you know what? I'll even get some of the people to come down here. It'll be good for the television show. So Pat came down here and caught wind that people were here to say that they heard him bad-mouthing me. Now, I don't care that Pat bad-mouthed me. I really don't. I think it's funny.
Whether he thought I don't know what he thought, quite frankly. Let me be quiet.
Yeah. But evidently, Pat really took it hard that I would believe these people. All right? And I still believe them.
I believe them, too. I looked at these people. These didn't look like the kind of people who could make up these kind of
Yeah, right. They didn't set this up. And right, Gary, you got all the calls.
No, it was really legitimate.
Yeah, right. You know, and what's the big deal? So I thought it was very funny, and Pat should be able to see the humor in it.
Sure.
And come in here like a man.
And what's the loss? Because you're still getting to come in, no hard feelings.
Yeah. I mean, Pat, so I know Pat's probably listening to this right now, and he should probably be able to say, you know what, I did say those things. But, all right, he says he did it.
Or if he doesn't ever want to say he said those things, or they were misinterpreted when people heard them.
So Pat came in here yesterday, and Pat and I got into a huge argument, which I will now play for you, which is the funniest argument I've ever heard. But because I didn't know
you started arguing. He was out of his mind.
Well, I didn't like him.
Started arguing with him.
He set off a sore subject when he was with Sam Kinison. I didn't like his attitude on that. So I got into it with him, and he left here. Now, before he came in, he was storming around the station and screaming for our cameras and microphones back there. So I'm going to play all that for you, but first you should hear the argument again that happened in here.
Yeah, I can't even understand why he would perform for the cameras outside.
Well, he was like out of his mind. I mean, when I say out of his mind, he was mad. There was no question Pat was really mad. It was not a put on. He was being genuine. But if I was Pat, I would just call in here and say, hey, Howard, I was on acid yesterday. Or make up a story like that.
I have a drug problem.
Yeah, say I had a drug problem.
I'm going to bed.
Don't remember nothing.
Yeah, I don't remember a thing I said. And that's
I wasn't in there.
Right. But anyway, so let's play Pat. What is it?
Okay, you're about to play the wrong tape.
Okay. Let's play Pat.
In the studio.
With me. Pat, are you going to beat me up?
If I'm on trial, I told him, forget me.
Uh-oh.
Because it's wrong. You understand? I'm your friend, and I don't want to hear no three idiots turn around and tell you.
Sit down. No, you're blocking my camera.
I don't care about your camera.
Come on, seriously. Sit down. You're blocking my camera.
Don't be a part-time friend.
No.
You'll be 100% friend to me.
Now,
I'd have put myself.
I'd
have threw myself on him. I'd have tried to put a bomb for you. No, you're out of line.
No, you're out of line.
No, you're out of line because
you
turn around. Don't call me for 3 months. Then you get three skivozers who call up and say, Pat Cooper, bad.
Now, there's where you're wrong. I didn't call you for 3 months because you were the only guest who has an open invitation.
You had a hook. You had a hook. Don't give me that. You're looking for a hook to get me riled up. You got me riled up. I've been riled up since that time you called me.
Listen, can I ask you a question?
Call me as Pat Cooper.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
I don't want you to ask me nothing.
Listen, this is interesting. This is entertainment.
Howard, I am a genius of myself.
Right.
None of you.
Right.
None of you.
You are a genius. I'm your biggest fan.
I will not allow you or anyone to take my dignity or my pride away. My mother couldn't do it. My father couldn't do it, and not son. You're a stranger next to my mother. Father can't do it, and I'm sick of this crap because you know something?
What?
You gotta be in A company. Don't put me in B company. Don't tell me Sam Kinison is your idol, or Sam Kinison's brother turns around and says, I didn't pay much. I know you didn't because you're Sam Kinison's brother, a drug addict's brother.
All right, now listen to me. Listen to me.
Now wait a minute. I didn't finish.
No.
I didn't finish.
Am I going to get a chance?
Don't idolize a drug addict over me. How dare you do that to me?
What do you think? I can't.
How do you idolize a drug addict?
I idolize Sam Kinison?
What do you tell your children? What do you tell your back off? What do you tell your children?
You're going to allow me to talk?
No, I want to finish my conversation.
What? I should idolize Pat Cooper?
You turned around and you had a drug addict for your idol.
Now, hold it a second.
What does that tell your children?
I will go to my grave telling my children that Sam Kinison was a great comedian. Whether he's a drug addict isn't the issue.
Oh, yes, it is the issue.
Why is that an issue?
Because he was a great comedian when he was on dope.
Oh, that's not true. That's insulting. Don't insult Sam Kinison like that.
Yeah.
You saying to me that Sam Kinison was not a great comedian?
I'm not saying that, but he was
you told him when he was alive. Now you're telling me. Now you're being a fake.
I'm medication.
Now you're telling me you're fake.
I'm medication.
Now you're telling me you're a fake.
My soul, baby.
Now you exposed yourself.
My soul, pal.
You exposed yourself.
I don't expose nothing. I expose my soul because my problem is
you told Sam Kinison. You told Sam Kinison when he was alive that he was a great comedian.
I never. Hey. You said Jackie Mason was the greatest.
He is great.
I was the greatest. Everybody's the greatest.
No.
I hate her. I wanted to die. Now you're a Perez.
I am not.
Now you're a Perez.
No, I'm not.
Now you're a Perez.
No, come on, give me a break. Hey. You are so jealous. You are jealous. You're going to tell me when Sam Kinison was alive, you went around talking about that Sam Kinison was a great comedian. Now that the man's dead, you're going to pee on his grave? That's wrong. Now you got to take it. Now you got to take it. Now you got to take it. The guy's dead in the ground. You're going to say he sucks now? That he was only funny when he was on medication?
He's dead, not me.
Don't you give it to me like that.
Yeah. He's dead, not me. He deserves to die because he's an addict.
Why?
He used a car
accident.
The man had a car accident.
I'd like to know.
What does that have to do with him being a great comedian? Was he a great comedian? Was he a great comedian? Was Sam Kinison a great comedian?
No.
No? You're always going to say that now?
That's your opinion.
After you told him when he was alive he was a great comedian?
I never met him.
Oh,
what happened, Big
I don't believe it. What about you? Where's your big mouth? And what's all of this?
I never met him.
After I show you respect, I tell you what a great comedian you are. I give you open invitation to this show.
Mason.
Look at the jealousy. Look at the jealousy. The jealousy.
He went back and read the book.
He went back and read the book.
Howard, can I say something to Pat? Can I say something to Pat?
I don't believe this, what I'm hearing.
How many people...
excuse me. I don't believe this, what I'm hearing. The nerve.
Defend my dignity?
Now, listen, let me ask you a question. Hold it a second. I'm talking now.
Tell me I can't defend my dignity.
I can't believe
Who are you to tell me I can't
believe this? I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I'm crowd, baby. No more now. I'm a crowd.
Who said you're not?
You got to call me.
Well,
I'm a contributor.
No.
I'm a contributor. Meanwhile, he tells Leno, I don't want you to be busting my bananas.
What?
You're busting my balls.
Listen to this.
I can't do a week, which I don't know what that I'm going to be a fan of.
I don't want to do Leno. I don't want to do the Leno show.
Because he's an A crowd. He tells Leno I have to go on first. He tells Letterman I go on first, so I don't
what's
go
wrong
on.
with that?
Oh, I see. But if I do it, I'm a dog. I'm a dog if I defend my dignity. I'm a dog if I defend my life.
Robin, what is he talking? Is he making sense?
Don't bring
Sit down and let's say Robin. You're talking to Robin, aren't you? You're looking at her. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, Pat. Pat.
Get into this, Pat.
He left.
Dear.
Pat left. He's the best.
That wasn't his last appearance.
Oh, that was great.
And you're telling me that was only 4 minutes?
That was 4 minutes.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Well, so anyway, first of all, I listened to that and I am shocked. There's so many issues going on in his head about me.
Oh, too many.
The first issue I have to say is this idea that I go on the Tonight Show and tell them when I want to be on.
Well, that's your A crowd.
Yeah.
That's your dignity.
Now, I have afforded him the same opportunity on this program. In fact, better. In fact, a better opportunity.
I'm sorry, as far as he is concerned, now that you've made yourself so big, you have to call him. Because you're treating him like B-list, and he's A company.
Has there been anybody who has treated... Abby, have we treated anybody as good as we treat Pat Cooper?
This is all in his head.
I know. It's so sad.
It's all in his head.
Here's Pat Cooper on Mars, and here's Earth. That's a drawing I want you to see. There it is. Pat's on Mars, and I'm on Earth. Has there ever been a guy that we have said, you are welcome here anytime?
Yeah, the one guy we said it to is dead, Sam. That was it.
It was Pat and Sam, and quite frankly, even Sam, we had to limit his appearances.
Every once in a while, Sam would want to come in for 2 or 3 days in a row.
Yeah, we'd say no.
Although I do have to say that there were times when we would book Pat, and I felt that he was a little... See, everyone has their forte on the show. Pat's is doing the news. When Pat comes in to do the news with us, that's great. Unfortunately, we do the news later on in the show, and I think he perceives that as not the best time to be on.
I never heard that from him.
No, but...
In fact, he would usually show up at 8 o'clock and then do an hour with us and then an hour of news.
Usually we'd book him around 8:30, 8:45, but I know a couple of times, the last few times that I booked him, he goes... He made sort of like, comments like, oh, I guess I got to come in later or something like that. I think he gets...
See, he was getting riled up long before this. This isn't a recent thing. This is a building thing.
Well, that's a new one on me. I've never heard that one. But I've got to tell you, I can't imagine a guy that I've extended a more open door policy to than Pat Cooper on this program.
I just have the feeling he thinks, well, I've been being a schmuck. I don't demand anything. Look at this guy. He demands this and that. He's going to go on first.
Yeah, well,
he's A-list. He's going to treat me like A-list.
And which I have. and by the way, I was on the...
Your A-list and his A-list are two different lists.
I guess. So I was on I was reading the internet yesterday, and I'm reading different people on my bulletin board there, and they say, under the topic Pat Cooper, they're like, who is Pat Cooper?
I know.
So, I think we introduced him to a whole new audience and got a lot of things going for him, but you know, that's up to him to decide whether to burn the bridge.
There's been a great deal of benefit in his doing this show.
And then when he starts screaming about Kinnison and Kinnison's brother, and I mean,
all of that has to do with this issue of these people telling you he said bad things about you.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is that, and the funniest part of that whole argument was he screams that a dope addict's brother.
Right.
It's like Sam Kinnison's brother became a dope addict by, you know,
being brother.
relation.
A dope addict's brother. A dope addict's brother. Like if you have a brother who's a dope addict, there's something wrong with you. But anyway, he was all over the place.
But wait a minute. What he was saying there was, Bill Kinnison, people called you and said Bill Kinnison badmouthed you, but it was okay because he was the drug addict's brother.
No, that wasn't the reason it was okay. It's because I went and checked the tape and Bill didn't say anything bad.
I'm telling you, this is what Pat's head was.
I know. I'm just saying.
Again,
this is the way it works.
Pat's anger in that particular instance is that you forgave Bill. You said, I'm sure that it wasn't true.
I forgave Pat.
Even before you heard the tape.
Yeah, I forgave Pat. I never held it against Pat.
You forgave Pat after you heard the people.
Yeah. I said, that's fine.
But
I don't care.
He doesn't believe he even needs forgiveness.
And then,
I guess not. I don't know.
The other thing that bothered me was now you need a hook. You got a hook. You got a hook. You got a hook.
Yeah, well, you know what that was. Pat knows how my mind works. When he was arguing with his family, and we used to have him on the air yelling at his son and stuff, it was great radio.
Sure.
So now he feels, oh, you're having me on because now you have a hook because people said I'm bad-mouthing you. You're having me on because you got this hook.
But he didn't. But he was objecting to you having him on only to plug.
I know. So now I have him on because there's something really cool going on, and he doesn't. You see, because he doesn't have a sense of humor about himself. This is funny. If people are accusing him of bad-mouthing me, well, let's talk about it.
But the point is, if he doesn't want to come on just to plug, and you develop a hook and you have him on, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Because you can't win with Pat. You just can't. When he gets it in his head that you've wronged him in some way.
His dignity. You hurt his dignity. I don't know how you did that.
It's a guy who doesn't talk to his own family.
When did you hurt his dignity?
I don't know.
Nobody can take his dignity.
You hurt my dignity.
You can't take my dignity. My dignity. You can't take my dignity. My mother tried to take my dignity. My father tried to take my dignity, but you can't take my dignity.
You're a stranger compared to everybody.
Yeah, I'm a stranger compared to his parents. You know, I think actually I'm less of a stranger than his parents.
He knows you a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know what?
But he repeats everything like 5 times because I'm looking at the transcript of it.
Oh, it's great.
Well, it's really unbelievable.
You know my favorite part is, you just pointed that out, I just counted in the transcript. If you go to page 4,
yes.
Pat says on medication 7 times in one line.
All right, here we go. Wait a second. You ready? Here we go. All right, Billy, take it from...
What page?
Page 4.
Oh, 4?
Oh, page 4.
Take it from second paragraph. I'm going to say don't insult Sam Kinison like that.
Okay.
Don't insult Sam Kinison like that.
Yeah.
You're saying to me that Sam Kinison was not a great comedian?
I'm not saying that.
You told him when he was alive. Now you're telling me that he's
medication.
Yeah, but you're being a fake. You're being a fake. You're being a fake. Now you're telling me you're a fake. Now you're telling me you're a fake.
My medication
you're telling me that.
You know my medication is my soul, baby. My soul.
But your soul, Pat.
My soul, pal. I don't expose nothing.
I like when he starts repeating.
It's a mantra.
It's a mantra.
Everything was repeated. I didn't realize that yesterday, but he repeated absolutely everything he said.
Let's go with you're out of line. Here, wait. Go to page 1.
Page 1.
Take it from Pat saying...
I have a request. Could you do now you're up her ass before you do
that.
That well, we'll get to that one in a minute. And that's a funny thing, too. You know, again, his convoluted logic. Roseanne, I used to make fun of relentlessly because of her marriage to Tom Arnold, and always said she was a talented comedian. Mm-hmm. And then Roseanne called me up and said, you were right about Tom. I want to come in. Let's talk about it. See, he just...
And now you're up her ass.
Yeah, now I'm up her ass.
Now you're up her ass.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And this is why you can't win with Pat.
I don't know what is he... I would love to be inside his mind.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can get inside his mind. Let's go to the tape now of him in the hall before he walked in on the show.
Okay.
All right, let me just start.
Okay, wait a second, Howard. I got to just give you a little description of this.
Yeah.
It's this particular piece of tape is like an opera.
Yeah.
It's a crescendo. It starts out, Pat's really normal, and it just builds and builds and builds to like a boiling point.
Okay. Scott Einziger doing the interviewing, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Pat, why are you here today?
I don't know. I'm here because they asked me to come, and they said, Pat, come on down. We haven't seen you in a while, so I'm here. And it's about time he invited me. Because I'm tired of me turning around, figuring out if I should do this, I shouldn't do the show. I'm an important guest. If I'm an important guest, he's got to invite me.
See?
Oh, that's the argument.
See, I told you that's what he's talking about. You got to call him. He's 8.
You mean every time I hug this guy goodbye and I say, Pat, anytime, listen to me, Pat, anytime you want to be on, whenever you want to book yourself, I don't know when you're in New York, I don't know when you just come in. No. You just call Gary and tell us you're coming.
See that? It's about time you called.
Oh, jeez.
If I'm an important guest, you got to invite me. You got to invite me. If I'm an important guest, you got to invite me.
But Pat,
you got to invite me.
Pat, what I'm trying
to invite me.
But you're not listening. We are going to open an invitation to you.
You got to have a hook. You got to have a hook.
To be invited. I like to be treated like he likes to be treated, like something important. Now, maybe to him I'm not as important, but to me I'm important.
Ooh.
And I'm not here, and I hope he ain't setting me up with these 3 guys who claim that I badmouthed him, because if he does that, there's going to be a war in here. It's wrong. It's wrong.
No sense of humor.
Because if I'm his friend, he would trust me and understand that what I did to this God for this man, none of these 3 kids would do, and all they want is 15 seconds of fame. But to pick on me, they picked on the wrong guy. And he knows what I'm going to tell him. If he does this, then he has no respect for me. Let him do it to Leno, and let him do it to Letterman. He ain't got the balls. But to pick on me and make me the
I mean, what you did to Jay Leno in the last 2 weeks, he wasn't listening.
Well, what did he say? I don't...
you wouldn't
do this to Dice Clay. Did anybody remember the war I had with Dice Clay? Do you remember remember with Sam what I did to him? I banned him from the show?
Yeah.
You called him Jabba the Hutt. He never forgave you for that.
Oh, please. Oh, I don't have the balls, huh? I built my career on balls.
You've done everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Letterman's afraid to call you on the phone.
He's afraid because he starts whining about that girlfriend of his, and then I go back on the air and talk about it. I don't have the balls. Everyone questions my balls. The one guy who's had any balls.
He's there evaluating everything. He's having arguments with himself.
So stay off the show. What can I tell you?
He wouldn't do that to Leno. He wouldn't do that to Letterman.
He has to treat you with
on me. You gotta give it.
I made Jay Leno grovel for an appearance, and then I told him no.
Yeah.
You stop picking on me. That's a war. You got a war.
A war.
I hope he's not setting me up.
Yeah, God forbid I should try to make a bit that people are interested in.
If I'm his friend.
Part of his then we got a problem. Because my dignity is on the line here. He ain't got enough fame or money to with my dignity. And he better know that. He can't play with my dignity and my character as a man. I yell and scream for decency and good things.
He's like a Superman.
You better know that, because he can't play with my dignity as a man. You better know that.
You know what sounds like Al Pacino, just about when he was going to have his nervous breakdown.
And Pat is great though. You got to. This is the greatest. You got to admit.
This is the part of the opera before he got upset, right?
But this is brilliant.
This is the preamp.
This is brilliant.
This is the.
So how could I?
This is a soliloquy. This is brilliant.
It is, but you got to get him going.
Shakespeare couldn't have written any better.
You got to find topics for him to talk about.
No, you can't have a hook.
You can't have a hook. Can't have a hook. God forbid we should have a hook.
Have a hook.
You're about 45 seconds away from, I think,
complete explosion.
The Chuck Norris.
Oh, good. This is great.
That flies in right out of left field.
Evidently, he takes on Chuck Norris and Richard Lewis. So we mentioned that earlier. So Richard Lewis just called in a few minutes ago and said, "What's going on? I'm in Los Angeles. My mother just woke me up out of bed and said that Pat Cooper's mad at me and Chuck Norris." What did I do?
My family on the line on this show for this guy. Yeah, but meanwhile, Sam Kinison is his idol. A drug addict is his idol. That's okay. That he believes. Sam Kinison's brother, he believes. He believes Sam Kinison. Don't believe Pat Cooper. Well, I got to think. Well, I got three guys who claim you put me down. If I put Howard Stern down, I put it to his face. That's more than I can tell for some of these rat bastards.
Do you sincerely seem upset about that?
Upset? I'm livid. That's why he invited me down here, because he wants me to battle with three asses. That's wrong. Why didn't he tell me that yesterday, Pat? The reason you're coming down is because we want you to have a big argument with three guys. You know what I tell him? Forget about it. I don't have to defend myself. Of what? What did I do wrong? Because three people said I said that Howard is bad? That's wrong. It's a lie. And I'm defending myself here, and I shouldn't do it. I got to get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning for this? Who is this man? God?
Who is this man?
Now he's, oh, now I'm in big trouble. Who is when he gives you that?
Yeah, who do
That means you've arrived.
think you are?
Yeah.
He plants seeds in his head, and you watch them grow.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has arguments with himself.
Yeah. Mushroom.
It's like the opening of Disney. The rose just grows.
Yeah, right. It's filled with
In
hate.
living color.
He must really hate me.
Well, I don't think he hates you.
I do.
I think Pat is
I think
his
he
own
resents
worst
me.
enemy.
I think he resents me.
I think that I don't think he really hates you.
Maybe
but I
because
think
of the fame
he
that I
hates
have.
you at that minute. He would do anything to tear you down. You know, when he gets that rage, at that moment, it's not even his fault. It's emotion.
But it's funny.
Oh, great.
I don't even mind that he hates me.
But he doesn't. It's not about hating you. In fact,
You think he hates himself?
is Pat's inferiority complex coming to the fore, and he's saying, you know what? I have to make this, because this man is now so great. He thinks he's God.
I don't think anything like that. I go to bed at night thinking I'm the worst piece of garbage in the world.
But like I said, this is the stuff Pat tells himself.
Yeah.
Look at what he does with Letterman. Look at what he does with Leno.
Oh.
And he doesn't call me. I am a contributor.
Play with me, can't intimidate me. I'll intimidate him. He's an educated man, but my common sense devours him. My common sense devours him.
Oh,
but he
boy.
ain't put me on trial here today because I ain't taking that crap. Now, if he's looking for Sweeps Week and he wants me to be part of Sweeps Week, that's wrong. Wait a 3.5 months. I only called me 3 months ago. Why don't he invite me as a guest? Let's say, well, Gary Delabatis, so if you want to come on the show, if you sell something. I'm not a peddler. I'm not a peddler. I'm not a guy who's got a push cart to come on Howard to sell. I come on Howard because I'm a great guest.
Oh, boy.
Remember that. Let him know that.
What about Gary? What are your feelings right
Because Gary's a fall guy. Gary has to do whatever Howard says.
Oh. Did I ever talk to you about Pat Cooper?
No.
I know. Have I ever told you what to...
In fact, it really is. Pat is one of the few guys that I don't talk to you about as a booking. So let's say, hey, we can have this one and that one. You say, okay, this is good, that's good.
Right.
Pat, I just say, hey, Howard, by the way, Pat's coming in next Tuesday.
Fine.
And we don't
But
sit there and
you
discuss.
understand that every time Gary wants to give him this olive branch and say you have an open door policy here,
He gets mad.
It's like, Pat, anytime you need us, come.
Right.
Anytime you got a booking, come. Anytime you want, and he's now saying, what am I, a peddler?
Yeah, I know. I've never seen a guy...
In every way possible.
I've never seen a guy get mad at me for saying, Pat, anytime you want to be here, you're welcome.
You know, if he's somebody that can't be, it's like if you tell Pat you're the greatest comedian on earth, he'd say, "What? I suck on Mars?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's that.
But you know,
say them right.
There's another subtle thing.
I know. I think also going on in the book that I said, because I said Jackie Mason was
the
great,
greatest, yeah.
it made him nuts.
It has.
But I'll tell you, there's another subtle thing with Pat.
I didn't know there was a competition between Jackie and Pat.
Well, there's a competition in Pat's head with everybody. See, he's also, you got to remember that he tried to do that Catskills on Broadway thing.
Well, he says he left that.
And there's a big controversy as to who left who. And I think he's got feelings about that. And Jackie Mason goes on Broadway and he stays and stays.
See, I don't know. I've just been such a big Pat Cooper supporter that I'm always shocked when all this stuff comes out. But that's cool.
You know, when
psychiatrists better start calling in, Robin. This might be beyond you.
Secondary anxiety with delusions of persecution.
What are you kidding me? Gary got these 3 guys who come on the show and Mayor Pat will have a big fun. This is not fun to me. This is not fun to me. I know what's fun. I know what's good for this show from me, from here. Not from these 3 who could turn around and come on here and sneak behind here that they wait me to go on. I ain't going to go on.
So the history of these 3 guys is
I don't know who they are. One guy said I badmouth Howard and a butcher. Then he names the butcher. I never been that butcher. then last week, the one guy turns around and says, can I advertise my lecture company? Then the other guy says, can I sell it to my brother Joe in California? What does that tell you about these 3 guys? I mean, what does that tell you? I said, Howard, what's that tell you? If they're really honest and everything, you don't do that. I want to come on this show, not to advertise I'm working in Las Vegas or anything. I come on this show because I want to be a guest, not to advertise nothing. I don't use his show to advertise. And he's got guys over here that he kisses their ass. Remember, he loved Rose, he hated Roseanne, he hated Tom Arnold, now he's up their ass, not me. When I dislike you, it's over. Hypocrisy. Let's talk about his hypocrisy. Let's see where he's going to come from. I'll give him something to worry about. Because this is wrong. You don't with people's life. You don't with people's dignity.
I think he's spending too much time listening to the show, too.
That's what I think, too. I was going to say, it sounds like he listens 4 hours a day every day.
Or even worse, it sounds like maybe he gets some of his information secondhand, which is much more deadly.
Yeah.
But nothing's been said about him.
I don't know, but he's got something going on with me.
Dignity's worth more than anything. And I showed it on this show. And when I go against my mother, my sisters, my brothers, my uncles, my aunts, honestly, and give him the show, he should say, hey, wait a minute, not this guy. But he defended Sam Kinnis's brother the other day. When somebody says, Sam Kinnis's brother called you a low, I want to see the tape. I don't believe it. Sam is my friend. Oh, Pat Cooper's not your friend. Pat Cooper's not your friend. Why, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Howard. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Three. There was three.
Oh.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Pat Cooper's not your friend. Pat Cooper's not your friend. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I bet.
You don't F with people's lives. You don't F with people's careers. He's up their ass. He's up their ass.
It's like Mammoth. A David Mamet play. It's over.
We got to. I'll come back and finish the rest of these tapes.
There's only 20 seconds left on this one, and then it's in the John tape, which is next.
Oh,
that he
really
goes off on those other people. I apologize.
Oh, and the Richard Lewis and Chuck Norris.
There's only like 20 seconds left on this.
I could listen to this all day. Is everyone with me?
It's amazing.
I love it.
I keep wanting you to go back because I just could hear everything over again.
Well, we will. What we'll do is afterwards we'll put it to music.
Oh,
it's
good.
like an opera.
Because this is, I'm telling you, when Al Pacino turns and does that great speech, you're pulling me back in. This is Pat Cooper.
Well, Pat was up for that role, and they should have put him in it.
He could have been in Justice for All.
More, because you're not going to use people for your fame. I don't care if I never work another day in my life, but he can't do that to me.
Oh.
He won't do that to me, because I'll wreck that studio. I'll wreck that studio. That'll carry me out of here, because you're with my life.
All right, Pat, thank you.
Thank you. Scott's getting out.
Isaac is a big pussy.
Don't set me.
Oh, is this the next one? No, all right.
The greatest thing of all of it is him pulling Chuck Norris into it.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that
Chuck
reference.
Norris come from?
I don't know.
I mean, Richard Lewis is even a comedian.
Abraham Lincoln couldn't do that to me. Hercules couldn't do that to me. Pulling in names.
You know, what I was going to say is there's a subtle thing with Pat. When you deal with people over a period of time, you either ignore little things or you just don't think of them. But I know one other thing that really has sort of irritated him that he's brought up to me from time to time. Do you remember about 5 years ago we had Pat at your birthday show?
Yeah.
We've never had Pat back again to the birthday show. And I know that that's one of the things.
Why? What did happen?
Nothing. It's just that we try to get new people every year. One of the things on the birthday show is that...
Oh, so he feels he wasn't involved.
He must have thought he bombed on the birthday show.
No. But a couple of times after, like, he'd come in a couple of weeks or a month or whatever after the birthday show, and he would just drop a little comment in passing.
And what would he say?
Just like, that he just said he wasn't there. That's all right. I wasn't at the birthday show. That's okay. I forgive you.
Right.
And I would just take it as sort of a joke. And I go, Pat,
it's got to be different every year, the birthday show. I don't know, man, but this is really weird. Because I really do like Pat.
You never know when you're... Who knew that Pat cared about the birthday show?
You don't know. You just don't know.
Learn to listen to him.
Yeah, he sure will. But I still maintain Pat doesn't have a sense of humor about himself. It's funny that all these people were calling the show.
But see, I thought he did, and I'll tell you why I thought Pat did. Because Pat was able to see the humor when you took his family tapes and did All in the Pat Cooper Family. He called up and he said, that's funny.
Right.
And he was able to see that.
You think so?
Yeah, no, he said it was funny.
Did he?
Yeah, he loves...
So why isn't it funny when people are accusing him of bad-mouthing me all unrelated? Why? What's the difference?
He saw those tapes that you took where he was yelling at his family and you turned it into a bit and he thought it was funny.
We should play that. That's a great one. As long as we're into the Pat motif.
Well, that's one of the reasons he is so dear to me. The first family feud, the Pat Cooper family feud, happened on my birthday.
Yes, that was your birthday show.
That's right.
I remember I told you.
That show for me was one of the best shows we've ever had.
It was an excellent performance.
In honor of our princess.
And you know what my favorite feud is? What's that guy's name? Freddie Roman.
Oh,
when he was a Freddie Roman feud. You got to give something back, Freddie. You got to give something back.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that.
And I love this feud because even though I'm the brunt of it, I still think it's funny.
It's great.
It's very funny.
Oh, this is definitely heartfelt. That last line that he did, that gets
you. Want to hear that line again?
There was a point that it said,
ooh, it chills you.
Yeah, here's the line.
Why do you think he's saying no?
Wait.
Oh, you went the wrong way.
No, Howard, you're in the wrong tape.
Is that it?
Do that to me. He won't do that to me because I'll wreck that studio. I'll wreck that studio. That'll carry me out of here because you're with my life.
All
That breathing.
Think about the movie clips that we've played. You've never heard emotion like that.
Oh, that's emoting.
This is acting.
That's acting. Hollywood, pay attention. All right, let's take a break.
A great man.
We'll take a break, and we'll hear more from Pat Cooper. There's plenty of hallway tapes. And maybe a little... For some of our newer markets,
do that to me.
you will hear all in the Pat Cooper family.
I'll wreck that.
How dare you? How dare you? You're listening to the Howard Stern Show.
How dare you?
How dare you, Mother dear? How dare you, Mother dear? You never turned a saint in your life.
How dare you? Jackie, new rape joke page, Martling, congratulations on your 78-minute CD or cassette. $10 plus $3 shipping and handling holiday special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Now, this Wednesday, the wildest night of the year. That's tonight. Sorry, tonight. Jackie wants to open up your Thanksgiving weekend with comedy and laughs.
How dare you? How dare you? You can't take away my dignity. You can't take away... I'm doing a tribute.
You're doing a tribute to Pat Cooper tonight?
It's called Who Told You That, starring Jackie Jokeman Martling.
With Jake Thomas on keyboard.
That's right.
That's right. The musical accompaniment.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you, Mother dear?
You take away my dignity. You can't take away my dignity.
Jackie's tribute to Pat Cooper tonight at Rascals Comedy Club.
I'm really thinking Pat could be a great play.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, I'm thinking of transcribing it and turning it into a play.
This is Broadway.
Featuring Jake Thomas on keyboards. For jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE for Jackie's tribute to Pat Cooper. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Tonight at Rascals. Congratulations on your success, Jackie.
Thank you.
All right. Anything that's not a strip club is a success in his book. All right. Very nice. So let's get back to the tapes. So now we're still with Pat, and Pat now, we're tracking him. Scott Einziger ran out of the room because Pat was yelling so much because he's a big pussy. And now Scott the big pussy leaves, and Stuttering John, who is a brave man, goes in with Pat and listens to what else is on Pat's mind.
This is while he's still waiting to do the show.
Right.
Okay.
This is tape 2?
Yep.
I told Gary, don't set me up.
Why do you think he's setting you up?
Because that's the show. It's a sweeps month. Let's get Pat Cooper raping.
She doesn't understand radio doesn't have a sweeps month.
Yeah, he's thinking Nielsen.
I know.
Well, John addresses that.
You can have sweeps on camera.
Yeah, sweeps month. November is sweeps month.
No, I don't even. I think that's only for like.
I mean, how long can you talk about and asses, vaginas, and asses? What happened? We're getting boring. Get Cooper in here. Let's get Cooper for nervous breakdown. Wow, he'll give us a good show. Then we can repeat it for the rest of our life. Why didn't he invite me to the E channel when he was on the first time? When I'm his great friend.
Here I am inviting him.
I told you this was a whole deal to do with E and these cameras in here. Now you have to call because you never called him for that other show.
But why would I be calling him for this show?
Because you have E cameras.
But I had... Yeah, right. So, isn't that a compliment?
No.
Wait.
I don't understand.
Go further, because Robert appears to understand it.
Yeah, right. Explain.
You didn't call him for the E show where you called and booked guests.
Oh, I see. So weren't we calling him for this E show?
Now he has not come in. He refused to come into the radio show because the E cameras were here, and you'd better call him because you have a television show.
Oh. Gee, you know, you might be a little bit psycho.
She's as wacky as
him. I'm telling you, I think there's something wrong when you start understanding this.
She was on to something, but she went astray. I think the thing about the last E show, you didn't have to have a hook to come on. You just had them on because they were personalities.
Right.
And yet we didn't have them on here until all of a sudden you screwed up.
I only did 20 shows, and quite frankly, Pat wasn't one. In fact, you want to know the truth? Maybe I shouldn't even say this on the air.
Sure you should.
Well, I asked them to book Pat, and they said that, hey, this is not, you got to get established first, and then we'll have guys on like Pat. We're going to try and get some names on and stuff. I said, okay, so let's do some people first, and we'll see where it goes. And quite frankly, I figured I'd do one season of this. We'll see how it goes. And then when I started this show, I said, well, let's get Pat in here.
Well,
but Pat,
that was the whole point. I was not a straight because that's one of the things he addressed in the phone call was that he has not come on this show since these E cameras are in here.
Look,
you better call him.
Here is the bottom line on Pat. There's a whole lot of shows not calling Pat.
Oh, that's true.
As far as I could tell, when we started booking Pat, there were a whole bunch of shows not putting Pat on.
No shows ever put Pat on.
Okay, whatever. There were some shows, but there was a whole lot of shows.
Show.
Yeah, the Barry Gray on WMCA. I mean, you know, listen, some shows put him on. I put him on because I'm a fan. I don't care whether he's a box office or not. I put him on. I can't put him on every show I do. I can't have him on every day.
You got to go for him. You know, you got to go that extra mile.
Yeah, you know,
he's your friend, and you say he's such a great guest.
Yeah.
How come he's not good enough for E?
Well, maybe he's not. But maybe he's good for other shows. You know, everybody has their own little niche.
Oh, you can't explain that.
No,
to
you
Pat.
can't. You know, listen, I try to promote Pat Cooper's. I said, Pat, my radio show reaches millions and millions more people than the E! Channel ever reached. I invite you on here anytime you want to be here. All you got to do is tell me you're in town.
But when these cameras came in here, that was the end of him in this radio show.
Right, there you go.
But you know what, Howard, I'll say something about Pat, too. You were saying that people on the Internet were writing, you know, who's Pat Cooper?
Right.
Pat has had a great career. I would not, you know, he had a career before us,
right,
and he'll have one after us. But there are a large group of people who know Pat Cooper as that guy that's on the Howard Stern show.
Of course.
All the time.
No, listen, there was a whole new audience, and Pat would be the first to admit it, that picked up on Pat Cooper because he came on our show. 18 to 25-year-olds don't know who Pat Cooper is. They just don't know. But I didn't care. Even though we have a huge 18 to 25-year-old audience, I said, well, let's turn them on to Pat. But, hey, you burn a bridge. Keep burning the bridges, pal. You want to burn them.
He's never learned in his 60 years. You can't burn those bridges.
I can't be nicer to somebody. I don't know how to be nicer to any human being that I've been to Pat Cooper.
You can't be nice to Pat.
I've said that the guy's like a second father to me. How much nicer can you be? But...
Well, if you're a second father to Pat, then I can understand why he left you.
That's right, because I'm like his son.
Tom Jones a bore. I don't care. That's you. Then you have to fight for your rights. But in the book, he's I'm a very funny guy, and I'm this and this. Who
do you think so, guys?
So in the book, I said he's a funny guy. Now he's mad at that.
Who gives a?
Who gives a? And what do you say? Tom Jones is a bore.
A bore.
Tom Jones is a bore.
Tom Jones hasn't done this show.
No, he was on my he was on my E! Interview show.
And you know what? I had missed that when I was.
He must watch everything I do.
But I had missed that when I was listening to the tape yesterday. Now I see the thread. Tom Jones, Richard Lewis, Chuck Norris, all E! Show guests.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Oh man, I didn't even remember those guys. Very good.
You think he don't think so. But don't play with me. Don't use sandpaper on me. You can't do that to me. I don't allow you to do that to me. I'm too smart for this man. I don't need stardom and like he wants more. How much can you have? I made it for my self-satisfaction. I didn't ask him to give me his phone number, his aunt's number, his uncle's number. I didn't have to socialize with him. I respected his man's privacy, and I consider myself a friend. I came in and hugged every one of them. I agree with this man and disagree with him.
You are a friend, though, Pat. That's so
no. I mean, if I was Chuck Norris. Chuck, come on, Chuck. Hey, come on.
Oh, that's right. Chuck was to my house.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he remembers everything.
I even said that with the first phone call. You never invited him to your house.
Yeah. I guess I got to entertain everybody who's on the show. Oh,
yeah,
man.
isn't that what you do? You have everybody over, right?
Oh, yeah.
Him to scores.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't. You know, see, he doesn't get the joke. Chuck Norris is an international star who wanted to come to my house for dinner. It's funny. It's for a goof. I don't have people out to my house for dinner.
But Chuck asked you. Chuck asked you, could I come to dinner at your house? You didn't say,
right.
Hey, Chuck.
But what's the point? Listen.
What is the difference?
I don't owe every guest a dinner.
He was there because he had a young, gorgeous wife.
Oh, please. Jackie, you don't have to explain to me. This guy...
Doesn't matter. We're dealing with Pat's head.
But look at what is in Pat's head. This is what I'm saying. You're going to tell me the guy doesn't harbor resentment toward me? Look at what's floating in his head about me. Who would even remember that Chuck Norris was over my house? I don't even remember it.
It's not a resentment in the way that you think. It's a resentment of your not respecting him and thinking of him as Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris
Tom Jones
has to call this show.
Richard Lewis.
Chuck Norris has to call this show and get booked. Richard Lewis, how many times have we told him not to come in? I mean, you know, Pat's the only one with open door policy, and I don't respect him.
Chuck, come on over to the house, Chuck. We love you, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck Norris. But if Chuck Norris will tell you to your face, if Howard Stern wasn't Howard Stern, you know what Chuck said? He'd be breaking more with his hands. You don't put me in B company.
You're not B company.
I'm B company.
Oh.
Now, you don't tell me Sam Kennison is a drug addict and an ass, was only funny when he drank drugs and said, took that crap, that's his idol. I'm a decent human being.
What is this, Sam's my idol?
I don't know how he got to be. You don't have any idols. You
Sam
like Sam as a guest.
Sam was a great guest, the same way Pat is.
But he was only funny when he drank drugs.
What is going down here?
But I'm not his idol. I don't want to be an idol. That's what bothers me.
He thinks you're hysterical.
I don't care what he thinks. But he ain't gonna.
He just said he cared.
He does care. He cares ultimately what you think.
You know what? It's like somebody took a whole pile of facts, put them in Pat's head, and then shook it like
I know.
And they don't relate at all, but they all have a trail in his
They're all in there.
Yeah.
That ain't what bothers me. Because if I see three guys in there, I take off. I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it. Because I tell you, his mother, his father, his wife will tell you I'm a gentleman. First. Now, he's trying to get me riled. I'm riled now. I was riled when he called me last week. Oh, let's get Pat Cooper. Now we got a hook. What's the hook? Well, we get Pat Cooper now, and we get these three guys, and we'll bury him. You can't bury him. I'm too smart for this.
No sense of humor.
You know, but who said he had to be buried? How could these three people bury Pat?
Has a sense of humor about a lot of things, but not about himself. Three people accused him of bad-mouthing me. He can't confront them?
But the point is, Pat takes on everybody. People in show business, other comedians. He can't deal with three people off the street.
Could be a guilty conscience.
Can't bury me. Guiltier than O.J.
Guiltier than O.J.
You can't bury me. I'm too smart for that.
But why wouldn't you see the humor in it as well? You see the humor in other things.
One-on-one common sense. I'll take your boss on. Let's see where it's going. Let's see who's smart, who he adores, who he loves.
That's the other thing too.
Competition with you.
I know. He wants to.
I'm smarter than this man. He's an educated man, but I got more common sense.
Well, you know what that is. How come he's so how come Howard's so damn popular? I'm smarter than him. I'm more educated.
I'm more talented.
Hey, everyone in my high school was smarter than me, but I did better than all of them.
I respect this man, but he's not me.
But that goes back to
maybe Pat's too smart.
That goes back to that whole thing that he was ranting about before. TNA. That's all he is.
Right. That's all I am.
Vaginas. And then that gets old real fast, and you got to bring in Cooper, because Cooper will have a breakdown and give them the show that they want.
But Nancy's out of the business. You remember that. Without ass, he's finished.
There he goes again.
Yeah.
Me, I'll never be finished. I'm still going. I still bring crowds where I work, and I'm a gentleman.
Well,
I don't ask him to do me nothing. I don't ask him to publicize me. He put my name in the book. I was so flattered. Very funny man. Yeah. No, I was so flattered. Richard Lewis got mad because he didn't say he was a very funny man. And Richard Lewis got more success than I. Instead of being thankful, Richard Lewis greedy. He wants it all. I give him this. Richard Lewis should learn manners. I should say thank you, Howard, for mentioning it. But no, Richard Lewis thinks he's an icon, and he's not. And he's a funny guy on his terms. He's not funnier than me. He told Jackie Mason he was the funniest guy in the world. 3 months before he told me. Remember Howard Stern? And the last time I was on a show, I said, Howard, let me ask you a question. You told Jackie Mason he's the funniest guy in the world, you hypocrite. You told me that 3 months ago. Who's the funniest guy in the world?
I never told him he was the funniest guy in the world.
I don't know. We'd have to go back and check that.
The funniest guy in the world's the guy that's sitting there.
Right.
Maybe on that.
But even still, if I say in the book, Pat is a very, very funny man, great guest, only guest, open door policy. If I say that on the radio, it's not good enough.
Yep, but Richard Lewis,
as Jackie says, it's like Pat Cooper's the funniest man on earth. He says he's not on Mars. He didn't say it. He never said it about Mars. Well, what are you doing? You better relax.
Wow.
No, we're not allowed to. By the way, other radio shows are allowed to say that. We are not.
Should we teach Robin those 7 words?
No. But other radio shows use that.
I was emotional for a moment there. I'm sorry.
But Pat really does seem to be on fire.
Not only on fire, that's a wrong thing to say, because now he's attacking your talent.
He's saying all the show is his TNA.
Right. He's attacking your talent, and that's when you get on my bad side.
Right.
Now you've done it.
That's it. Pat had to take, Pat's saying he's mad at me. He's angry.
Yeah.
Well, all Howard is vagina jokes, and that's why he's popular. And
without that, it's nothing, because I'm a contributor. Contributor.
He's over without that.
Yeah.
Pat will go on forever.
Right. Well, I'm over.
Because I'm a gentleman.
But I still became bigger than you.
That's all right, Pat.
That's it.
I'm a gentleman.
So bring me in and play it over and over and over and over and over.
Oh, boy. They always go too far.
You know why Jackie's going to do an Pat and Cooper impression?
Because I'm as angry as...
Because he goes home and says the same thing about me. That's right.
He's done this routine.
Pat is right. We haven't talked about vagina all day today. Maybe we should get into some, maybe in the 9 o'clock hour.
You know what? The other thing he said was you get a tape of Pat and you use it over and over again. He's right.
He's right about that.
As we're doing it.
We're doing it.
You can't go like this here to me. Don't go like that to me. It's war. I'll take you on. I'll take Mason on. Let's see who's got balls.
Mason.
Then at the end of the show, when it's on tape, he said, Pat, you're the funniest man in the world. Because I had him crying in there. Because I'm not. I don't want to be great. I don't want to be great no more. You know what greatness does? See, I did 3 Letterman shows. I haven't hurt my man. haven't heard from no more.
Come on in.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
All right, go ahead. I'll see you, man.
Okay. And then Pat came in.
Pat came in.
Pat came in. You heard that already. We played that for you.
And then this is 42 seconds of Jackie, Pat, and I at the elevator.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And really, all the jokes aside, Jackie and I discussed this yesterday. Really, the most upset I've ever seen a human being, even fighting with my wife.
Let me set this up. So, Pat leaves here.
Right.
Jackie the Great.
Well, I follow first.
Jackie the Great spokesperson. Ambassador Jackie Martling.
I follow.
Jackie off his last ambassadorial greatness was, of course, negotiating the Patty Davis-Reagan truce.
Well, I was going to say, come back. You know how you guineas get? Oh, gee. Come on, you know.
What's that, Jackie Puffin?
I'm a diplomat.
Ambassador.
You know how hot-headed you dagos are? Come on.
Anyway.
No, what I was going to say is Jackie is out for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, well, Jackie was all upset after he insulted Patty Davis-Reagan.
I love Pat, and I thought maybe I could help. I really did.
Jackie, when you help, it always hurts.
I'll tell you, he loved it because he was screaming at you.
Jackie was like, hey, I feel the same way. Come back.
He went out to commiserate.
We're all angry, Pat. Come on.
Anyway,
go, Pat, go.
So Jackie and Gary ran out to see Pat. Pat was at the elevator. And you said he was yelling while the elevator doors were closing.
Yeah, well, he was yelling. There was rage in it. It was like his eyes were like touching the glass.
There was the camera and me and Gary and maybe a few other people standing about maybe 10 feet from Pat, and there was like a glow around him.
All right, let me hear this.
We weren't that close to him. He couldn't get close. It was like a tiger.
Let's hear this.
Pat, don't leave. I don't want to come on the show. Just enjoy Pat. Okay. Pat, just take a deep breath and come back. Pat, I can't. I'm on the nerves, Larry. Well, you know he's kidding around. I don't want to be kidding. Come on. No more, Jackie. Mind your business. We love you. I don't want to be loved no more. All you guys will love me. Meanwhile, you all turn around, push him aside when you need a man. I don't want to be loved no more, Jackie. You see what they did? I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more. You see what they did? Don't love me. That's your bitch. You get 90,000. You have to take that. I don't have to take that.
I'll tell you.
All right.
Wait a minute. Client, the Honorable Henry T. Fleming should go right to jail.
Something really wrong is going on.
That's when you are out of order.
You're out of order. You're out of order. The whole trial is out of order. They're out of order. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Hey, Frank, you want to make a deal? I got an insane judge who likes to beat the shit out of women. What do you want to give me, Frank? 3 weeks probation? You son of a bitch, you. You're supposed to stand for something. You're supposed to protect people, but instead you f***ing murder them. You killed McCullough. You killed him. Hold it. Hold it. I just completed my opening statement.
Great Al Pacino.
Doing Pat Cooper.
Yeah.
You're out of order.
I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more, Jackie. Get away from me.
Mind your business.
Mind your business, Jackie. No more.
Jackie.
No more.
Jackie.
No more.
Ambassador Jackie.
No more.
You know what? It was easier to negotiate the peace between the PLO and Israel.
Yes.
Poor Jackie.
You know what was funny?
Pat, I would like to negotiate the peace.
He turned to Gary and he said, "No, Larry, get away from
Larry. No, Larry.
You know, in the other
He called you Larry.
It was inspiring.
That is great.
When Scott Einziger was talking to him, he called him Barry Galabate at one point.
I love that.
Sam Kinison. He said, Barry Galabate in there. Because you got to take that from him.
He was the definition of seeing red.
Yeah, he really was.
Pat, don't leave. I don't want to come on the show. Just enjoy Pat. Okay. Pat, just take a deep breath and come back. Pat, I can't. I'm on the nerves, Larry. Well, you know he's kidding.
Larry.
I don't want to be kidding. Come on.
I love when he calls everyone the wrong name.
I think he said Mary.
Larry. Whatever.
Like Mary.
How could you be mad at him?
Lackey, mind your business, lackey, joke man. No more.
You got to get him back on the show.
I would love to.
That's your job. If you don't get Pat back on, you're fired.
Why don't you call?
I'm not coming on your show.
Why don't we call Pat?
Larry.
Let's take a break and call Pat.
Yeah, let's try.
Let's ask if he's thought this through.
Like me call him from outside, or like we call him live on the air?
I'll call him live on the air because you obviously can't handle
He
it.
needs to hear from you, actually.
Right,
so
right,
that's
right.
True.
I'll,
no
maybe
more
he
of
thinks
this
this is-
Larry.
Maybe he
stuff.
thinks this is funny.
No more.
I doubt it.
It is. You love him. We all love him. You've never.
I don't want to be
Tired of
loved.
being loved. I don't want to be loved no more.
He never really had. He really doesn't have a lot of common sense.
Not only do I love Pat,
he's got to really be shown common sense here. He's not thinking clearly.
not only do I love Pat,
That's why I don't hold it against
I
him.
respect him.
There you go.
I really do.
No, Larry, I'm a bunch
No,
of
you don't, Larry.
You know why I respect? You know why I respect Pat?
Shut up, Larry.
No, you know what he does? He's given money back. You know when he tells those stories, somebody irritates him and say, "Hey, I don't think you did a good show tonight." Pat takes the money and gives it back. No one in the world does
There
that.
you go.
No, Larry, I'm a bunch of
word for that.
No more.
No more. No more. No more, Jackie. Mind your business.
We love you.
I don't want to be loved no more. All you guys will love me. Meanwhile, he's all turning around, push him aside when you need a man. I don't want to be loved no more, Jackie. I don't want to be loved no more.
That sounds like Abbott and Costello. I don't want to be
You
loved.
just push him aside. I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more. I told you not to be stupid.
Do you think he's sitting at home watching old movies?
I don't know. He sounded like Abbott and Costello.
Mind your business, joke man. I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more. Hey, Base, you got those 3 guys in there set me up. You can't do that because I get dignity. I get dignity.
I don't want to be loved no more. Don't love me. That's it. You get 90,000. You have to take that.
Jackie, all you get is 90,000. No wonder you're complaining.
And you have to take that crap.
There you
Boy,
go.
oh boy.
I didn't think it was time to negotiate salaries.
90,000.
This is that the doors are closed.
And the door, what happened? The doors just closed right now?
The beep is the sound of the elevator doors closing.
We're all scared to get in. We're all scared. It's like
That must have made for a great shot. As the camera's on him and the elevator door's just closing, he's still yelling.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, the poor baby, and he was in there all by himself.
oh yeah, you get in.
And Jackie wouldn't go in with him.
That was the decision, Howard, because he was in there for a few seconds just before the doors closed. I had to make the decision because there was nobody else getting in because I was there and everybody else was over there. Had I got in, it would have been just me and him.
I like that. My favorite part is when he starts yelling about Richard Lewis.
He's an icon.
Yeah.
But I'm funnier than him.
He's bigger than me.
He should be grateful. Instead, he's greedy.
Right, right. Yeah. Richard Lewis was greedy because he didn't like what I said about him in the book enough. We got to call him next.
Yeah, let's try.
Well, I'll straighten this out with him. Let's try and straighten it out. We'll be back right after these.
Hi, it's John Tesh from Entertainment Tonight. You are listening to the Howard Stern Show, and
Big star.
so am I.
He's an A
really
guest.
only on days when he's not talking dirt about me.
I was watching Entertainment Tonight last night, and big special on Connie Selica's new TV movie and John Tesh's baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, she married smart, I tell you. At least she gets on that show because of him.
Yeah, because usually you wouldn't see all that publicity for a TV movie she was doing.
But why
It's
did
a little rank.
she wasn't her best.
No.
And my wife said, "Oh, that's the one Howard's always talking about."
I know. Makes me look bad when she doesn't look good.
But why do you see they fax each other every morning?
Yeah.
Why does he fax a picture of the 3 of them to her?
Because the 2 of them are, believe me, that marriage will not last.
Yeah, they have to remind each other who they're with.
Yeah. Believe me, that's
Remember,
not going to last.
You're married to me.
That's not going to last.
Well, he's going out on tour, you know. He's taking a month off from Entertainment Tonight, I was reading, to go on tour with his latest album.
With that bad music.
A Family Christmas, or something like that.
I think he's sapping her beauty.
He's draining her like
Yeah.
the Frankenstein that he is.
She could have done a lot better. You know, as good looking as Connie Selica is, look who she married. Jill Gerard and John Tesh.
It's Gil, not Jill Gerard.
Jill? It's not Jill? J-I-L, isn't Jill?
It's G-I-L.
Oh, G-I-L. Jill. Well, John Tesh is on tour. We'll have to go see that. He should tour the homes of the deaf. The deaf.
The deaf. Don't talk to me about that Frankenstein. He married her. He's snapping the life out of her. That ragbag. She's looking like a ragbag now.
All right, are we going to try and call Pat? You know.
Well, this should be interesting.
Oh, boy.
Well, you get him on the line.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, you got to talk to him.
Okay, ready? Put.
I don't want to deal with this.
You're afraid?
Of course. What did you be?
I'm going to let the phone ring.
You confronted him face to face.
I'll confront him.
I'm going to let the phone ring.
I got to talk common sense to him. I don't think he's had the guidance in his
Even if you get
life.
his answering machine, because you know he's sitting there listening.
By the way,
please try to make sense to him.
Last time I called Pat, he was doing like a minstrel thing on his answering machine.
What?
I swear to God.
Good. I want to hear that.
He was doing Amos and Andy on his answering machine.
Hello, Dad.
He's not picking up.
Do you think he'll just let it ring?
Cooper and wife are here. Leave messages, please.
I'll leave a message. Pat? Is there a beep yet? I didn't hear a beep, but maybe it beeped already.
Yeah.
Pat, it's Howard. Pick up. Come on, we're on the air. Come on, pick up. Pat.
Pat, we'd all like to talk to you.
We love you, Pat.
Come on, Pat. Yeah, I know you're there. Pick up the phone.
Where else could you be at this time of the morning?
At the meat market.
What are you saying, Pat? Couldn't be somewhere? What are you saying?
No. What are you saying? I'm not going to pick up. I'm not going to pick up. I'm not going to pick up. Cooper knows because Cooper understands.
Pat, this has nothing to do with sweeps.
No. I swear, Pat, even if it wasn't sweeps. Come on, man. Pick up. Pick up.
I am the genius of myself.
Pat.
Go ahead, Gary. You talk to Pat.
Pat, you know that we think you're one of the greatest guests we've ever had on the show. Howard likes you. He loves you, and he really does respect you. You didn't even get a chance to let him show that.
Trying to take away your dignity.
Pat might be at the post office bad-mouthing me.
They don't know. Oh, they're open. You're right. They
That's
just
right.
opened.
What, I can't be someplace? I didn't work late? I don't work?
You don't have to get up at 6 for this.
Shut up, you lackey.
Come on. Pat, please come on, and we'll tell everyone you're going to be at Club Benet.
Oh, don't. I'm not a peddler.
Come on,
no,
Pat.
I think you know, we...
You don't want... All right, you want to be like this? All right.
Don't stare at the phone.
You done with it? All right, I'll consider it done then.
Don't be through with it.
Don't stare at the phone.
All right.
If Howard's dead to you, I hope that I'm not. Maybe you can call me in the office.
No, forget it.
Wait a minute.
At breakfast, Howard.
Maybe he's not there.
All right, whatever. I won't think the worst.
If an A guest.
You call us back because we called you.
Come on, Pat. You're an A guest.
We want to book you on the show again.
Because you're an A guest.
We're asking.
If there was something better than A, we'd put you in it.
You're A+.
You're A+.
We're calling, Pat.
You are an A+ guest. You are the best.
I don't want to be the best. I'm tired of being the best. I don't want to be loved no more.
All right, Pat. Thank you.
No more.
Hello?
Defend your dignity.
I heard somebody pick up. I just could have sworn I heard.
You hear like the cradling of a phone?
I heard someone pick up.
Pat, are you
Come
there?
on.
Pat.
Don't do this to us.
Hello.
Yes, is that you, Pat?
Leave me alone. What, did you run out of tape?
What is with Pat's machine? Does it just stay on?
I guess he gives you an unlimited amount of time to talk.
I wonder if we're even on the machine.
Yeah. You want to try it again? Because I didn't hear the beep.
Yeah, but you know why you didn't hear it? Because I have to be in queue, and then I had to...
You think we made it, though? We're on the tape.
Yeah, no, we're on the tape now.
Yeah, my machine's unlimited, too. Big mistake.
Really?
Because people leave really long messages.
Jessica Hahn.
Like
All right, I guess Pat's not...
Come on, Pat.
He really could legitimately be gone.
All right.
He runs errands in the morning. I know.
Does he?
He gets up early.
That's what a lot of people say. He's out early in the morning at these various post offices and supermarkets.
Screaming about
me. Come on, man. Get a sense of humor about it, Pat. It's funny.
Do your rap about how he's got to have a sense of humor about that.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
it's
gotta
funny.
think of humor in the whole
If
thing.
people call me and say you're bad mouthing me, that's funny. I want to hear about it. There's nothing wrong with you. You've never been afraid to confront situations.
There's nothing wrong with a hook, Pat.
Yeah, hooks are fine.
That's
And we've had you on a million times when we didn't have a hook.
And explain the thing about always asking him to come in whenever he wants.
Well, I've explained this to him 100 times. What
I don't
say
think
to
he
you.
heard you. He's yelling too loud.
Pat, there is no one that I say to come in any time and actually mean it, except for you. And I've invited you on this show by saying...
No more message time.
No more.
The machine
No more.
now hang up.
Oh.
Now hang... It's an angry machine.
Now hang
Hang up.
No more.
Now hang up, you bastard.
Hang up. Hang up. Hang up. It's over. No more. No more. No more, Mother dear.
Well, you know, we have had a lot of requests for Pat Cooper's family.
Oh, all in the Pat Cooper family. Let me take a break and I'll play that. Well, since like Miami's never heard it and El Paso, and there's a lot of towns that haven't heard it,
Yeah.
we will play all in the Pat Cooper family next, right after these words. A lot of faxes coming in about Pat. The mix of Al Pacino and Pat Cooper was great. They like that. Why hasn't Pat Cooper blown a blood vessel in his head yet? I should call my father. My father called me. He says I didn't get to hear Pat and what he was ranting about. I said, you know what? Just tune in tomorrow and listen, because you'll see.
Yeah, I would love to hear his take on the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've sat at a table with Pat, I suppose.
Yeah.
Pat feels close to them.
Well,
he did mention them. He said all of those people would say he was a gentleman.
I'm glad Pat wasn't invited to my house for dinner, though, because I was now we know where I live. Let's see, Howard.
He'd have thrown himself in front of a bone for you. Did you hear him say that?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Who's he, Superman? I seriously doubt he would have done that.
Dad.
Oh, it is? Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
So did you hear that?
Yes, I finally heard it. I missed it yesterday.
Did you hear the whole thing?
Yeah, that's 4-minute segment, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think your fans do a lot to set him off.
Yeah.
And, he gets his back up, and rightly so. I mean, he goes out there, and he doesn't want to be hassled by these guys, and he sort of lashed out. So,
Well, do you think he said that stuff about me?
Well, he may have done it in a defensive manner. I mean, if you're there...
What do you mean? How is it defensive? You're standing in a post office and he starts ranting.
Well, maybe what happened, they must have come up to him.
Yeah, they said, how come you haven't been on the show in a while?
Or I haven't heard you on Howard in a while.
Well, that they're setting him off. What's their business?
How did they set him off, though?
What are they, the producers?
Yeah, but what's the difference? Why would that come between me and Pat? Why do we care? So if they call up and then they call up on the show and say he did it, so come on in and face the music.
Well, you knew he was upset when you had the E show, the interview thing.
Yeah.
That goes back to that.
Who knew he was upset about that? How did you know that?
No, it came out.
Yeah, but how would we know that?
No, he's a funny guy. You know, he will never say to you, "Listen, have me on." He's very proud, and what he does is he sits back.
Yeah, but who knows those rules?
Well, now you know him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but now he won't even talk to us.
Yeah. But the point is, who would know any of these things are going on?
I know. So I'm just trying to say what set him off.
But forget what set him off. What do you make of this?
What do I make of this?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he gets set off very easily. It's not only with you; he's done it in other areas, and he's that kind of a person. So everybody has their own motives.
So you think we're through? I think we're through.
I think in Pat's mind we're through.
Yeah, I think in my mind we're through.
Yeah,
really?
Because I think Pat backs himself into a corner and then can't get out of it.
I think you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Oh, are you kidding? I'm not done beating this. I'm going to play you all in the Pat Cooper family.
What you're telling me
is
if we could get Pat on the phone and invite him in here, you wouldn't want that.
Of course I would, but I'm telling you it's over because I know Pat. Pat puts up a... Yeah, he puts up a...
When I'm through with you, I'm through with you.
Yeah, when he puts up a statement, he's got to stick to it.
That's right, because of his pride.
He's so ticked off, I mean, it'll take dynamite.
Yeah, and where's the sense of humor?
Well...
Gee whiz, what a funny premise. All these people say you're going around bad-mouthing. Who cares?
Pat, when he's on... I've seen him on the stage. We've seen him on the television. Pat is funny as an entertainer. But in his private life, I mean, he has certain rules and standards, and he feels that people don't live up to them.
Yeah, he's the last honest man as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, meanwhile, it seems to me that he's burned every bridge that he's ever had.
Well, the thing with Pat, you got to accept him on the basis of how he...
Well, we are accepting him. The point is, he's not accepting us. So far, Dad, you said nothing. Go ahead. You're a great sage. You're telling me you got to be careful with Pat. That goes without saying. Everyone knows this.
How could we be more careful?
What's your question? What do you do now?
The question is, what is your feeling based on the rantings and ravings of what you heard of this guy?
Your relationship is finished. That's
right, exactly.
Oh, I could have told you that at the beginning.
And secondly, what do you make of some of these resentments that you hear in his voice about me? Forget about this incident about E-show.
He's harbored that all along.
And now he has an excuse.
Because, I mean, as I said, he's a very proud guy, and if you tweak him in any way that he feels is not correct,
right, And what do you think of these rules? You have to call him first, and you have to... Meanwhile, he's not calling anyone.
Well,
what about the
you know
rules?
what it is?
How he's supposed to conduct himself?
Well, you see, that's what I said to you, when I used the term proud, I'm explaining it to you, that most of the people that want to get on your show to promote something, they call you.
Right.
He doesn't do that. He's a
but who knows that?
Well, I'm telling you.
We know, we understand that, but now who would know that?
When were we supposed to know that there was a change
in other words,
the rules?
what do you think of a guy who makes up these rules and doesn't tell anybody the rules?
Well, because he's proud. He'll never tell
Proud? You call that proud?
That's right.
I call
proud.
that stupid.
I mean, what are you talking about?
You want to know something? You know what that is? That's a one-man contract. In other words, he is negotiating with himself.
Right.
And you're not privy to this information because he's negotiating. So
that's the father I was waiting to hear. My father knows already what the story. He's afraid to say he likes Pat a lot. He don't want to piss him off.
Right.
You're afraid he'll come to your house. But let me tell you something. A guy makes a one-sided contract. You got to let the other player in on it.
That's right. That's exactly what he does. There's a lot of people who do that. You know, they sound off, they get mad, but they don't let the other person know, and they think that it's being followed up. And I tell you, I've met him personally. I like him very much personally, and he's a nice guy.
We all like him.
You would say he's a gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Go back to staring at the wall. Very good.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. My father in his own private hell. No, I know my father is sitting walking on glass.
Really?
Yeah. That was a case of that. Then finally he said, look, guy's in a contract with himself. He'll let you know.
He didn't want to do that.
No. Well, he likes Pat. Everyone likes Pat. It's a sad day. Look at this. Although some of the listeners are reacting, some of these faxes coming in. They say, Howard, a thought on Pat Cooper. A-list, A-company, A-hole. Oh. This guy says his brain is as damaged as his family relationships. This guy doesn't like Pat. He is a legend in his own mind. Maybe if he takes some drugs, he'd get funny and famous, too.
Ooh.
I can't wait to watch him fade into obscurity where he belongs. Now, this is a guy who calls himself king of all useless researchers. He doesn't like Pat. This one is from Willie. When you hear the word bitter, who comes to mind? Jackie, I thought.
Well, I don't know. He's being replaced by Pat.
Howard, Pat Cooper, Pat the Ingrate, I-N-G-R-E-A-T, Cooper. He is the poster child for the Dysfunctional Comedians Mental Health Fund. He is, this guy says he's an a-hole guest. Well, I don't feel that way. I always like Pat, and the door is always open to Pat to come in. That's how I'll leave it. And I'll leave you with all in the Pat Cooper family because people have been requesting it.
Coming this fall, a brand new TV program. What do you get when you reunite an overly sensitive Catskill comedian?
Because it's none of your business what I do on stage. That's my profession.
A son he hasn't seen in quite a while.
Kiss my ruck. Kiss my butt.
You know I don't say that.
Because I know you're not the kind of guy to do that. Because you go which way the wind shifts.
You know what kind of guy I am because you haven't been around for 32 years.
A daughter abandoned moments after birth.
You left me in a hospital when I was 2 weeks old.
I left you. Who told you that?
I was 2 weeks old.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Let me just ask you.
Who told you that?
Were you there?
Answer my question. Who told you that?
When I was growing up.
Were
you there for any one of my birthdays?
No.
Did you ever give me a birthday gift?
No.
No. Were you there for my confirmation, communion, and graduation?
I was never there.
And a mom who thought he was a bum.
On my life, you
on
made
life, I made money. You never turned a saint upside down in your life, Mother, so don't con me.
You get all in Pat Cooper's family. Hear a father declare unconditional love for his son.
Like I love you.
Well, I have never heard that before.
All right, so you may never hear again.
He's a firm dad who knows how to discipline with a sense of humor.
Look, all of a sudden now, he wants me to get on my knees and kiss his ass. I ain't going to do it. I don't give a damn who he is.
Right. For what? For what?
You see?
Sit in on the family finances.
With all your money was $65 a week. That's what you
That's what the court told me to give you if I'm making 90. If I'm making 90, love.
You weren't making 90.
I was making 90. It's documented. Don't tell me. Don't believe what you hear. You know something? I'm ashamed of you.
Financial advice that would embarrass H&R Block. Joel Siegel says it's a laugh riot.
Who told you that?
Liz Smith says you'll love Pat.
Who told you that?
Tia Lindstrom says it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street.
Don't miss the fun. It's all in The Pat Cooper Family, the story of an overly protective father.
Someone who never hurt you, I never beat you, I never killed you, I never took anything out of your mouth, but you turn around and you're brainwashed, and your education, by you telling me that I'm making a fool of your profession, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Love.
When your ass jumped me on the street.
Respect.
Oh, I owe you for being born now.
Honor.
How much I owe you for food? How much I owe you for food? How much I owe you for clothes? How dare you insult my intelligence, Mother dear? How dare you? I'm ashamed of you that you even want money off anybody. You ought to be ashamed. What are you going to do with your money? Take it with you?
And I never will.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You're the one that worry about it.
I don't worry about it. I earned mine, my dear mother. I earned it, and not by you.
So did I.
Then keep it. I don't want yours. Keep it. Give it to your grandkids. They deserve it.
Love, respect, and honor. 3 words that can't seem to find their way into the turbulent Pat Cooper family.
As far as I'm concerned, you don't have a daughter.
I don't want to have a daughter.
You have never done anything.
I've never done nothing. I know.
When's the last time you seen your mother?
Huh?
When's the last time you seen your mother?
Well, she asked me to pay the back rent that I didn't owe.
Don't miss. All in the Pat Cooper family. You'll love it.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Wouldn't that be a great show?
Yeah. I try to produce it, but I can't get them on the phone.
Oh, I love that show.
I've been pitching that to Hollywood for years. They won't talk to me.
That is a great show.
Couldn't write that.
And here's another fact. Howard, I think you should have went out in the hall and beat that Motor Mouse ass all the way down Madison Avenue. He sounds like that nitwit who narrates some of the Christmas specials. Who's that?
I don't know.
Keep his ass off your guest list, unless he apologizes. Well, evidently everyone has a feeling on it. But
bringing out a strong reaction as always.
Pat's always evoked good radio. It doesn't make a difference who it's directed at. It's always good, and we love him.
It's much like the time we did have that fight with Sam Kinison. It was almost hard to part with him, even though there was a good reason for doing it.
That's right. Well, there it is. So now you have the whole controversy. You've had an entire Friday of Pat. Excuse me, Wednesday. Feels like a Friday.
Greatest day of the year. When Wednesday feels like Friday.
Wildest Friday.
Hee-haw.
All right.
Want to hear me and Billy do interpretive reading of Pat and Howard? Okay.
I enjoyed it the first time you did it.
Let's start on page 3. Sick of reading.
See who can play Pat in the movie.
Yeah, Billy, this is your audition to play Pat in my movie that I'm writing.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, maybe we should start on page 2.
Any page is a good page.
Do the whole thing if it's only 3 minutes.
Okay. All right, you got to come walking into the room yelling, okay, Billy? Yeah. And then you get on mic. Here we go. Hey, Pat, you're not going to beat... You start. Go ahead. Start yelling in the hall.
No, I'm not going to go in there. This
Pat, you're not going to... Hey, Pat, come on in here. Hey, Pat, you're not going to beat me up, are you?
I'm on trial. I told him forget me.
Listen to me.
Because it's wrong.
No. Pat.
You understand? I'm your friend, and I don't want to hear three idiots turn around and tell you that.
Sit down.
No,
sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
Sit down. I don't want
to sit down.
Come on, you're blocking my camera.
I don't care about your camera.
Come on, seriously, sit down. You're blocking...
I'm not going to... Just remember, don't be a part-time friend.
You're blocking my camera.
You be 100% friend to me because I had to put soul. I had to throw out a bomb for you.
Hold on a second. Now, hold on and sit down for a second.
You're out of line.
No, you're out of line. No, you're out of line.
You're out of line.
No.
Because don't turn around and don't call me for 3 months. Then you got 3 bosses that call up and say,
that's where you're wrong.
You.
Hey, that's where you're wrong.
No, because you're wrong.
No, that's where you're wrong. I didn't call you for 3 months because you're the only guy who has an open invitation on this show.
You had a hook. You had a hook.
Pat,
Don't give me that. You're looking for a hook to get me riled up. You got me riled up, and I've been riled up since you told me.
Listen. I want to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Why don't you just call me as Pat Cooper's a guest? I give you something. I don't want to ask me nothing.
What?
You know what, Billy? You really lost it there.
That makes more sense than that.
I know. You're insulting Pat. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Not Billy. Hey.
All right, No. Can I ask you a question?
I don't want you to
This is interesting.
I don't want you to ask me nothing.
Come on. This is entertainment.
I am Howard. I am the genius of myself.
Right.
None of you.
Right.
None of you.
You are a
None
genius.
Of you.
I'm your
I am a
biggest
genius.
fan.
I will not allow you or anyone to take my dignity or pride away. My mother couldn't do it. My father couldn't do it. And
Why?
You, a stranger next to my mother and father, can't do it. And I'm sick of this crap because you know something?
Why are you sick of this
You know
crap?
something?
Pat.
You gotta be in a company. Don't put me in B company. Don't tell me Sam Kinison is your idol.
Oh, come
If Sam
on.
Kinison's brother turns around and says, I didn't pay much,
Who
I don't
said
know
he was
you
my idol?
Because you're Sam Kinison's brother, a drug addict's brother.
All right, now listen to me. I want you to listen to me
Now,
for
wait a
second.
minute.
No, come on.
Wait a minute.
Listen to me.
I didn't finish.
Oh.
I didn't finish.
Yeah, am I going to get a chance to respond to any of these
Don't
accusations?
idolize.
Am I going to get a chance?
Don't idolize the drug addict.
Am I going to get a
How
chance?
dare you do that to me?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it on Broadway. Do you think we get a theater for tonight?
Oh, absolutely. For tonight?
Just for
Wait
tonight.
a minute.
We'll get the Flying Karamazov brothers off the stage and we'll go do it.
What's the scenery?
Jackie Mason.
Yeah.
Jackie Mason.
Throw Basha out.
I see Pat Cooper Story, NBC 2-hour TV movie. I bet you Warren Littlefield would go for
Who's
it.
going to play Pat? Billy?
Yeah, sure. Billy could play Pat.
On stilts?
Don't con me.
And Jackie will play
Don't
Jackie
con me.
chasing Pat into the elevator.
Oh.
You know what?
Hey, Greaseball! Hey, come back!
Oh, please.
Come back, Greaseball! No more!
Back off, Jackie.
Mind your business, Jackie.
Mind your business,
Mind your
Joe
business, Jackie. And Larry, I don't need your love. I don't need your love.
Come on.
I don't want to be loved no more.
Come on, Pizza Face.
I don't want to come on the show. Okay. Just take a deep breath and come back. I can't. I'm on noise, Larry. Well, you know he's kidding. I don't want to be kidding. Come on. No more, Jackie. Mind your business. We love you. I don't want to be loved no more. All you guys will love me. Meanwhile, he's all turning around, pushing him aside when you need a man. I don't want to be loved no more, Jackie. I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more. Don't love me. That's your bitch. You get 90,000. You have to take that. I don't have to take that.
Innocent beef in the elevator.
Jackie's money always comes into it.
But wait a minute.
It's like, you didn't do anything. You get paid to be with me.
Jackie, where were you going with your argument? Did you hear what they did to...
Yeah, what were you working on
I was just saying that I got attacked all morning. I was just trying to...
you did hear what they
Did you hear what they
did
did to me?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I see. Because I didn't know where...
Because I thought maybe he had been on his way to the
that
show.
would have really helped, Jackie.
We love you. We love you.
I don't run.
We're going to put out an album, The Negotiations of Jackie Martling, starting with the Patty Davis Reagan story.
They did to me?
Take a deep breath and come I thought that he had been on his way to the show.
You know what he would have thought? It was, now Jackie thinks he's me.
Yeah.
On the same level.
Oh!
Jackie's commiserating.
Mind your business, Jackie. Mind your business, Jackie. I don't need your love. And no more. No more. I don't need your love. You're making 90,000 to put up with that.
Beep, beep, beep. I can throw the beep.
A little beep at the end.
Right.
No more. No more. I don't need you. I don't know. You're making $90,000 a year to put up with that.
Oh, man.
No more. I'm not going to be. I don't need you. I don't need your love. I don't need you.
Right at the end there, he was really quivering. You could.
No more.
What's with this effing elevator?
What an exit. A man knows how to play a scene.
I can't. I'm on noise, Larry. Well, you know he's kidding.
Larry.
It's funny.
No more, Jackie. Mind your business. We love you. I don't want to be loved no more. All you guys will love me. Meanwhile, he's all turning around, pushing him aside when you need a man. I don't want to be loved no more, Jackie. I don't want to be loved no more. I don't want to be loved no more. Don't love me. That's your bitch. You get 90,000. You have to take that. I don't have to take that.
It's like you got on a spaceship.
I think a spaceship took Pat away.
Goodbye, planet Earth. Goodbye, planet Earth.
No.
Goodbye, people of Earth. No more Earth. No more Earth.
No more.
Earth, no more. Mind your Don't be funny about Jupiter where I belong. Goodbye, Earth.
You're going to miss me, Earth.
Don't you put me aside, Earth.
Want to do some more reading? Were you enjoying that?
That's great.
You think you can carry on, Billy?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Billy has to work into it. He gets
I know.
up, though.
Well, I mean, that's high intensity.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the Sam Kinison part, page 3.
He's like a dynamo.
Take it from the second paragraph. I'll start saying, "Come on, Pat, listen to me." But you got to keep reading. You know what I mean? I got to keep. Okay, you got to know how to do this. All right. Okay. Come on, listen to me, Pat. Pat, come on, listen to me for a second. No, come on, listen to me.
Wait a minute.
Come on, no.
Finish.
No, come on. Am I going to get a chance? Am I going to get a chance?
Don't idolize a drug addict over me.
Come on.
How dare you do that to me?
Can't?
How dare you idolize a drug addict over Pat Cooper?
What are you saying?
How dare you? What do you tell your children? What do you tell your back off? What do you tell your children?
Come on. Do you feel?
No.
Wait a second. Let me
I want to finish my conversation.
Are you going to allow me to talk?
Do you tell your children that you turned around and you had a drug addict for your idol?
That I should idolize.
What do you tell your children? What do you tell your children?
That I idolize Pat Cooper. How's that?
What? I just said that.
Wait a second.
Oh, this is not the issue. Because he was a great comedian when he was on dope. When he was drinking the dope.
All right, good. Now you lost it. Now you sound like Frank Sinatra.
It's hard to see. You need a Pat to do that.
I don't know that you can play Pat Cooper, Billy.
There's only one Pat.
Maybe Al Pacino can play Pat.
Yeah.
That would be the only guy.
Let's get an Al Pacino and see if he can read the script.
Yeah, let's give the script to Al Pacino.
Pat would be outraged that he couldn't get the gig.
Yeah. I don't think Pat's big enough to do himself.
We need a Pat Cooper type.
Right.
But you can't be Pat
How
Cooper.
angry do you want me to get? You know, it would just be...
Right.
They wouldn't be able to direct him. He has to be really mad.
I know.
Mother dear.
What you do is you make him...
Mother dear.
Don't call me mother dear.
You know what you do? You make a movie about him, telling him that he didn't get the part.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
You asking me for the back rent that I didn't know.
All right. You know what I'll do? I will go to every insane asylum and find someone to play Pat. He's terrific. The great Pat Cooper. I'll miss him. I'm sorry that he feels that way.
Mind your business, Jackie.
He yells for 10 minutes, and then you try and say something, and he says, "Shut up, I want to finish my conversation."
Conversation.
People should study this transcript like a Bible.
Writers should look at this. This is a great piece of writing.
That's right. Mother dear.
Goodbye, mother dear.
You never turned over no saints.
I love you, Mike. I love you. You may never hear it again.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back with the news right after these words. Should I read you the last couple of faxes about Pat?
Yes, please. I'm fascinated by the reaction.
Actually, this one says, let's get off Pat. Can we pick on Jackie now? Does that drug addict really make $90,000 a year? If that beer-soaked comic makes that much, then Billy should be getting $10 million for his on-air performances alone. I bet Nancy uses most of the $90,000 on finger condoms for his little schween and dildos for her great big...
How did this get on me?
Well, I don't know. I'm just reading.
What?
For her great... I wish I could read.
Go ahead.
No, I can't. It's too dirty.
Can you show
This is her great big...
Oh, please.
All right. Here's one for Billy. Come on, Billy is a genius. You don't know how it sounds over the air. Either you actually have Pat in the studio or you're goofing on us. Or Billy is an effing intelligently, loosely vocal tape machine.
Signed B. West.
I am the genius of me.
He has Pat down pat. Pardon the pun. Billy, Billy, Billy. Funny, funny, funny. Very good, Billy. There you go. Kudos. Howard, Pat will be back. This guy says. Ken says this. Pat will be back. Where else is he going to go? He's acting like the poster boy for Angry Hacks Are Us. If you're right... But you're right when you say he's an endless source of comedy. Howard, of the 500 times that the king of the Catskills has been on your show, I think he was funny 4 times. And here's a guy who doesn't like Pat. He doesn't care if he leaves. Pat should be nuzzling your taint for what you did for his non-existent career. Before you infused his career, his shtick for the previous 15 years was to resentfully do the talk show circuit to complain about the new breed of dirty comics. This is what this guy says. Well, despite what anyone says, I would take Pat back. Anytime.
No more.
No more.
You're going to live with this unrequited love, are you?
No more.
You don't push Cooper. Cooper knows because Cooper understands.
I feel Pat, listen, has had for whatever reason, he does not see things the way other people see them.
No.
And so I don't hold him to fault. I really don't.
He can't help it.
I don't hold myself at fault because I never know what his list of rules are. As my father said, it's a one-way contract.
He's negotiating with himself.
And I think it's subject to change pretty often, too.
Right.
Well, it certainly changed on us.
Yeah. We insulted him by not calling, by saying you're allowed on here at any time.
You don't call me for 3 months. We haven't called you in years.
Yeah, we've never called you. We don't call anyone. We call certain people. We don't. We wait till they call us.
Yeah.
And we said you can be on every day if you want. How much nicer can you be? I don't know. Maybe there was abuse as a child or something. Maybe he was burnt with lit cigars. I don't know.
Well, we may never know what happened to Pat.
I don't know, but
like this.
You can't tie up a 3-year-old and burn him with lit cigars.
Mother dear.
Mother dear, why don't you tell the truth, Mother dear? So you and Papa burnt me with lit cigars. Why don't you tell the truth, Mother dear? There was abuse. There was abuse. There was abuse.
Well, let's go on record as saying there was no. I mean,
No,
Pat has never indicated that there was.
This is a play, a
right.
loose play.
A loose play.
Based on our suppositions about
Yeah.
Pat's
If he was abused.
childhood.
All right, I wasn't 3. I was an infant. I was a bambino.
All right, very good. Let's do some news. We'll get off Pat now.
You
What?
can't give Pat Cooper a birthday cake made of duty. You can't do that. Never lit candles in a pile of duty for a birthday cake.
During the commercials.
No more.
During the commercials, you were saying, well, maybe something happened in Pat's childhood to make him so angry. That's what the guys were saying. But I said, I don't know.
Happy birthday.
It's simply speculation.
Right.
It's not based in fact. We know nothing.
Right. We've been told that many times.
And we believe it at this point.
I got to tell you one thing that makes me angry.
What?
This makes me angry. This
What
makes
makes
me
you
angry. Stern is angry now. Stern is angry.
Stern is angry.
Stern is angry. All right.
What is
I open up the New York Post. I see a big ad here for. I guess it's for Kmart. It's a terrible ad because you can't tell whose ad it is, but they're enticing people to come by various personal appearances. For example, you can win a slice of pizza and meet. It says meet Cousin Brucey. This is a disc jockey here in New York. Meet Cousin Brucey Morrow. Radio TV personality Cousin Brucey will be on hand signing autographs. If they've tracked 3 people, I'll be shocked.
TV personality.
Yeah, I don't know what TV. I guess he thinks the telethon is a TV personality.
Do they have some good products? Backing up Cousin Bruce.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, well, they're doing some great sales. But then the wildest thing is they got a picture that says, meet TV's Grizzly Adams.
No.
Now, wait a second. No, that's not the funny part. And they got a big picture of Dan Haggerty and it says, meet Gene Edwards.
Who's
TV's,
that?
I don't know, TV's Grizzly Adams.
Gene Edwards is not...
Who's Gene Edwards?
Gene Edwards is not Grizzly Adams.
I know, they got a big... I think he's pretending to be Grizzly Adams. Isn't Dan Haggerty Grizzly Adams?
Yeah.
TV's Grizzly Adams. I picture bringing the kid, and the kid goes,
First of all...
hey, that's not Grizzly Adams.
But is Grizzly Adams on anymore?
I don't know.
I mean, who even... I think it's wrong to even call Grizzly Adams a TV personality.
Well, he was at one point.
Gomez Adams.
Gomez Adams is more fun.
TV's John Aston.
All right, anyway, let's go to the real news.
Clayton Moore, TV's Lone Ranger.
Sure they do.
Lone Ranger.
That's why everyone laughs at him.
There's a car show somewhere.
What else you got there, Robin, in the news? The real news.
Well, Howard.
Tell me the news.
Have you heard the fuss that Jesse Helms has created by shooting off his mouth? He's been saying things like, the president had better bring a bodyguard if he comes to visit North Carolina. North Carolina has a number of military bases, and Jesse Helms has taken it upon himself to be the voice of the disenchantment on the part of our military with the president.
Let me talk about this. Jesse Helms is a traitor to this country. He's a traitor to the United States of America and should resign as senator from North Carolina. And I'll tell you why the man's a traitor. First of all, Jesse Helms now has, his Republican Party now has the majority of the seats in the Senate, majority of the seats in the Congress, and he is still sitting and harping about President Clinton. Now's not the time to harp about President Clinton. Now's the time. Now you've got a majority. You can pass bills. You can do all kinds of things. And what is he harping on still? President Clinton. President Clinton. Because you know what? Some guys don't do anything. All they do is harp. They don't really want to do anything. It's totally inappropriate at this point for this guy to be screaming still about President Clinton. You've got all this exciting opportunity. For the first time, I think, in 40 years, you've got this kind of power in the Senate. And you're going to sit there and harp on President Clinton. Now, let me tell you something. This Oliver North who ran is the same as Jesse Helms. Oliver North, during his campaign, comes out and he goes, President Clinton's not my commander-in-chief. Oh, he's not? Well, if he's not your commander-in-chief, why don't we lock you in jail for being a traitor to this country? Because that's what you are. You're a traitor. You're telling me a military guy is telling me that you want to be the senator from the United States? Well, how about Oliver North isn't my senator? What is that? He's not my commander-in-chief. And you got some of these guys like Jesse Helms who are hateful guys. They're against the president from the day he gets in. Jesse Helms doesn't want to see anybody do well. Mm-hmm. This is why he's a traitor to the country. When you believe in the United States of America, after the election, you get behind the president for at least 10 minutes.
Well, I sat there and I wondered to myself, is he going to do the best thing for America?
No.
In his position,
no.
Or is he going to do whatever it takes to bring Clinton down?
Well, let me tell you
regardless of what it does to the country.
This is what I'm talking about. If Jesse Helms wants to be a great senator, a great politician, someone who did something for people, to come out against President Clinton, these guys come out in a way, not against his policies, not against his, he's coming out against the man. And there's no respect, yes, and there's no respect for the presidency of the United States. I know as an American, even when George Bush was in, I voted for George Bush. The day he got in, I said, gee, I hope the guy does well. I hope he doesn't run off to Camp David every 2 minutes looking for vacations. I hope he does well. Because I'll tell you something, the country has so many things that are wrong with it, that they need help, the taxes are through the roof. I said, I'd like to at least feel that the guy gets a shot. And this Jesse Helms is so filled with hate. He's such a filth. He's such a nothing. He's such a know-nothing, do-nothing, filthy human being. He's such a scuzz. He's not a man of ideas and visions. He's a man who just sits there, the same tired routine. President Clinton is not the commander-in-chief. If he ever comes to North Carolina, I hope he gets killed by the military. You'll see he's in trouble. What is that? Wait, you don't respect the presidency? What if I got in this? I hope someone shoots Senator Jesse Helms when he visits New York.
Oh, he'd be outraged.
Yeah. Jesse Helms has worked hard behind the scenes to make sure that I'm not on in Georgia, to make sure that I'm not on in Atlanta specifically, that I can't do radio shows there. This is what the kind of work Jesse Helms is involved in. He's sitting and worried about that. Instead of worrying about what's going on in this country with taxation, the roads, anything that, children, feeding the hungry, something that you could sink your teeth into to say, there's a great man. He's nothing. He's dirt. President Clinton runs rings around this person. Because President Clinton is at least working in a direction. He at least has some agenda. Whether you agree or not, at least he's in there working. Instead of sitting with dopey comments, I hope Jesse Helms gets killed. Did you ever hear him say that? What a disgusting thing to say. And those rubes from North Carolina, they don't know how to vote for anyone else but Jesse Helms. They think they got a great man there. Well, for North Carolina, it probably is a great man. They got a bunch of bumpkins down there. It's full of inbreeding. It's not even part of the United States. He's lower than a piece of dirty styrofoam, Jesse Helms. You know how low dirty... You ever walk down the street and you see dirty styrofoam on the street? A dog won't even smell it. That's how low he is. He's lower than dirty styrofoam. There you go. That's all I got to say.
Well, let's listen.
He's nothing. He's garbage.
President Clinton
was
asked about Jesse Helms' comments at a press conference yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
It's gotten vicious now. They're not for the presidency. They're only for the president if he's a Republican. That's sick. That's stupid.
He's lower than Richard Lewis.
Right. Right, Pat.
That was Pat Cooper.
Lower than Richard Lewis.
That's Pat Cooper Jr.
He's lower than Richard Lewis.
I think the remarks were unwise and inappropriate. The President oversees the foreign policy of the United States, and the Republicans will decide in whom they will repose their trust and confidence. That's a decision for them to make, not for me.
This Jerry Falwell, who calls himself a religious man, that he's involved with God in some level, is so full of crap. He's another guy. He's sitting releasing videotapes of how President Clinton killed somebody. This guy doesn't know a thing in the world. I never saw such viciousness. This is the religious, so-called religious right. They are the most dangerous people on the planet. They want to take. You know why they're called the religious right? Because they want to take away every one of your rights. They are filth. They don't know anything about God. They know less about God than they do about rearing children. Hillbilly filth garbage. Skeeves. Got a guy in the White House at least working. That Bush was off every weekend at Camp David. I would take Camp David. I wish the president would blow up Camp David. That would be the single greatest. If I was president, I'd blow it up so no president could take vacation. I'm going to Camp David this week, and I need to relax. I'm going to take a working vacation. You know what? Work and vacation cannot be in the same sentence.
I tried it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. I have never had a working vacation. Either you're on vacation or you're working.
I took my work with me on vacation. It sat in a corner.
Yeah. That Bush, that bastard.
No. Well, now he's not president. You can say that.
You're damn right. And he was no commander-in-chief. Listen, Clinton is the commander-in-chief, and if you're a senator of the United States, you've got to back that up. Otherwise, the whole system goes down. You can't say the military. You're advocating a military coup.
That's right. That is exactly what he's doing.
That is treason, and he should be on trial, removed from the Senate for senility. I believe the man must be senile if he makes a statement like that.
And everybody's making a big deal about the fact that now he's backpedaling on the statement. He says he made a stupid statement, but he has not apologized.
Yeah. Can you imagine? He won't apologize. This is how filled with hate this man is. Let me know I felt that hate firsthand. This guy has spent time actually trying to keep me off the radio. This bum. There is nothing intellectual about the man. He's a lowlife. And should not be allowed to be the senator of any state in this country. They should force North Carolina out of the country until he steps down. North Carolina, piece of garbage state. I wouldn't visit there. As long as he is a senator in North Carolina, take your goddamn money and throw it out the window. Never send it to North Carolina rather than go down there. Are we on in North Carolina?
No.
Good. Oh, we are? Where are we on? Myrtle Beach?
That's South Carolina.
Thank God.
I love South Carolina. Warren Littlefield didn't come from...
I think he is from North Carolina.
Oh, my God. You don't know anything. He's from Jersey. I read that. A chicken with its head cut off makes more sense than Senator Jesse Helms. He's filth. That's not even a man. That's not a man. That's lower than styrofoam. Dirty styrofoam on the side of the road. Just laying there like garbage. That's Senator Jesse Helms, the worst there is. And you hear him talk. Hello there,
it sounds like Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn here. He should be in an enema tape. I'd give him an enema.
I think that would help.
I'd fill him up with 4 quarts of Bosco. Send him on his way.
Backed up.
You're not kidding.
My butt is sticky.
Sticky buns. That's a do-nothing, no-nothing. That's what he's concentrating on, President Clinton. Here he's got a majority. Republicans, he should be out caucusing and having a discussion about the budget and how to get the country on course. You see the stock market took a nosedive?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you worrying about that? That dope. He's nothing. See, Clinton, I can be effective. You just better get rid of that FCC problem. The clock is ticking. Sorry, Rob. Go ahead. I didn't mean to...
Well, I was going to say he's being considered for the head of, I guess it's the
head.
Foreign Affairs Committee.
Oh, my God.
And they aren't sure that that's going to be a very good mix with him being the head of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and having to deal with the president. How are they going to work together if this is the way? He said on CNN he didn't think the president was up to the job.
Why don't they hire
the presidency of being the president?
Why don't they hire Larry Harmon for that job? You know who Larry Harmon is?
Bozo.
Why don't they get just Bozo, a guy with big red nose and big giant shoes and big red hair, and make him the head of whatever that committee is? Why don't we just make a mockery of the whole country? Senator Jesse Helms, I would give him a test to see if he has Alzheimer's. I mean, that's who's going to be the head of an important committee? We're doomed. What happened? Young people are supposed to be running this country now. Why did I get that old buffalo in there? Well, I mean, it's unbelievable that this guy he should be in a retirement home somewhere screaming that he's Tarzan, running around with a mine on a loincloth.
You wouldn't mind it if he was screaming about the president from a wheelchair wrapped in a diaper.
Then it's fine.
Makes sense.
Where do you see a senator saying, hey, if let that President Clinton come down here, he ain't our commander-in-chief, our boys will shoot him. Whatever he said.
He better have a bodyguard.
Yeah, can you bring a bubbly dog?
North Carolina.
You better have a bubbly dog.
Our military men down in North Carolina.
Yeah, that filth. That lower than scum. Imagine that. Oh, if I had said that on the radio, they would have been calling for me to be removed. Would have me investigated. Forget it. Country stinks on ice.
He's a B senator.
Right.
He's a B senator.
Right.
He's a B senator. Goodbye. He's low. He's lower than Tom Jones.
Goodbye.
Lower than Chuck Norris.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
No more.
Geezer. Goodbye.
Right.
No more. No more.
Right.
Meanwhile, Ross Perot is another bee in the president's bonnet. He gave a speech last night in which he he said that if the Congress and the president don't respond to the opinion of the electorate expressed in the last election, he will just go out and start another party. He is very upset with the new trade agreement that the country is considering, and if they don't do the right thing, he has a threat for them. Here is Ross Perot.
Ross Perot. Easy, had it. He had his chance. He blew it. Goodbye.
Bye.
If that happens, it's proof that they didn't get the message in November. I pledge to all of you that we will immediately start the process of building a third party in this country.
Great. You had your chance, you dope. And then you appointed that guy as your vice president, and you don't know whether you're running with your run. Yeah, no one's going to take you seriously. You're as serious a candidate as I am.
Here's something else he had to say.
This agreement is all about having all these little countries, little undeveloped countries, get access to our market duty-free. You're going to let
duty-free
tell us what our laws are, which laws are good and bad on trade? I don't think so.
He knows everything. He knows so much. Meanwhile, you see him on TV, they ask him a simple question. If he doesn't have that damn chart with him, he goes, I don't have my charts. I don't have my charts.
He would be the flashcard president.
Yeah. He goes, well, I don't have my charts. I can't answer that. They said, well, we're asking you a question. Why do you need a chart? I don't have my chart. You didn't tell me we're going to be discussing that. Where's my chart?
If you had told me that question was up for discussion, I'd have brought some charts and some graphs.
I said I don't have my chart.
I can't discuss that with you.
I saw him. I think it was Sam Donaldson. I don't know who it was, but they had him on like a Meet the Press kind of thing, whatever ABC has there. And he, I don't have my chart. I don't have my chart. And I would explain. I've explained it a million times, but without the chart, it is impossible. That stupid chart. I think he's like a puppet head.
Well, he's one of those computer guys, and I think computer people always need pictures.
There's another guy. You're gonna teach him. Meanwhile, he got his shot, and where was he? Now he's starting another third party. I
didn't think he wanted to be president because he had such a great opportunity to be president.
He's a guy.
And he blew it.
He likes to campaign.
He did the wrong thing right away. As soon as it started to look like he was going to get somewhere, he stepped out of the election.
He had a guy running with him. He had all the people in the country. He found this admiral, or whatever he was, general.
And he really had to look for this guy because he didn't know him.
Yeah. I think this general who sounded like that guy Jim from Taxi.
He was an admiral. Admiral somebody.
Admiral Jim.
Stockdale.
Sorry.
Right.
I didn't have my hearing aid on.
They had Al Gore and Admiral Stockdale and Dan Quayle in a debate. This guy Stockdale was unbelievable. What would you do, Admiral, if you were the vice president? Right.
What? I didn't have my hearing aid on.
We're going to take a break and we'll come back with more news.
Why am I here?
This is on Jane's Addiction?
Yes.
I got to get that album.
Forget the name of the album.
Been caught stealing this song.
Yeah, but can't remember the name of the album.
Whole room smells like onion rings from Nathan's.
Trying to get rid of it? Or you like it?
Why? I mean, it's killing me. Trying to watch my weight here. Did you finish the chicken sandwich?
What me? It's really great.
And he's got just get out of here. What are you with that?
Stuff on his chin?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, juices dribbling.
Juices.
What happened to the commercial?
Oh, please.
It's dripping with deliciousness.
Can you wipe the Jackie Puppet's face? He just ate onion rings. All right, come on, let's continue the news. Come
Jackie Puppet looks like Jackie.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Wash it down.
Go ahead with the news, Robin. There's a puppet show going on.
I know, Jackie and the puppet are getting into it.
Right.
Wild shootout at a police department headquarters in Washington, D.C. last night.
Yeah.
They say that 3 men came up in an elevator. They don't know exactly if these 3 men were together, but somehow or other, at least one of the men got off the elevator on some floor that was shared by the police department and the FBI and started shooting. And after everything was over, 4 people, 2 police, some FBI people, a police officer, 1 civilian was shot, and the gunman was killed in the shootout.
Where is this, Washington, D.C.?
Yes, a few blocks from the White House.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. Refer to it as Africa.
Well, I don't think it's that violent in Africa.
Actually, Africa's very safe.
See?
I don't know what you call that. Shooting the cops.
Yeah, I mean, you walk into the police station and start shooting.
There's no respect. Do you have tape of the guy who shot up the police station?
He's dead, Howard. I don't have.
No, we have tape of him before he died.
Is that right?
Here it is. This is his last words. Very good.
Well,
what else
I
do we
didn't
have?
get a chance to interview him. I didn't know he was going to do this.
All right. You know it's not safe in the police station in Washington, D.C.?
That's a real problem.
Where can you be safe? Where can you be safe? Where can you be safe?
Where can you be safe? The White House. You can't go to the police department.
Where can you be safe? Where can you be safe?
Who told you that?
They say that the guy.
You know where I would live if I lived in Washington, D.C.?
Where?
I would live the top of that monument.
The Washington Monument?
I would perch myself up there.
On the tip?
On the tip of the Washington Monument. That's where I would live.
Maybe they couldn't get you
No
there.
one could get me there.
Nail all the doors shut.
Nail the door shut, and you would have to scale the walls to get up to me. And I would just sit up
you don't
there.
want them taking those stairs.
Like a corkscrew. I'd screw myself into that tip.
That tip there.
Yeah, that pointy tip. Like a corkscrew. Like a corkscrew.
Corkscrew.
They say that the gunman was actually questioned at this police department a couple of weeks ago, but what his motives were yesterday when he walked in and started shooting, nobody knows.
Probably wanted to raise. Howard gets all the money.
Also in the news, Nicole Brown Simpson's older sister.
Isn't she a bodybuilder? Well, that's Nicole Bass. Right. Nicole Brown Simpson is O.J.'s wife.
Yeah.
Right. Big difference.
The oldest sister believes that O.J. did it.
No kidding. So does everyone else.
An interview in the Orange County Register, and Denise Brown accuses Simpson of killing her sister. It's the first time Brown has publicly charged Simpson with the murder.
Duh.
She says that her sister always told her, O.J.'s going to kill me one day. And she said her sister also told her she believed Simpson would get away with it.
And what's odd about that is that I'm sure the family members feel some guilt now because she used to say that. But in reality, who would ever think that O.J. Simpson would kill anyone? Because, my God, you go, wow, what a great life this guy has. Nobody would want to jeopardize that.
It couldn't be as bad as she's saying it is.
Yeah, right. It couldn't be that bad. I mean, it's O.J. He's a great guy.
I see him on those Hertz commercials. He looks like a lot of fun.
And this proves that Nicole was the female Nostradamus because not only did she predict O.J. would kill her, but that he'd get away with it, because he will get away with it.
I don't know. I hear in the case now, they're still trying to impanel an alternate group of people to be on the jury. They want 15 people to be alternates, and they're having a trouble that's going very slowly. And they say that O.J. is looking tired as a result of all this. He just looks like he's tired and worn out.
He sits all day. What is he so tired from?
I don't know what he's doing, Dick. He ought to get some sleep before these hearings, but he looks worn out and dragged down by the whole thing.
Well, I keep hearing the words of this dead woman ringing over and over in my head, that O.J. will kill me and he will go free. And this is a woman who could predict. Do you know that Nicole Brown Simpson predicted that we'd piss off Pat Cooper in 1994?
Did she do that?
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, this woman could predict. There's a list of other predictions that they don't put in the paper.
Well, you know what's interesting to me? Her family does have a lot of guilt about this whole thing because they sort of turned their backs on Nicole in terms of the abuse she was suffering. Even shortly after her death, they refused to admit that she was a battered wife, and now they've come forward and started saying that. But they have had a lot of denial going on in that family for a long time. They saw their sister and their daughter going through a lot of this stuff, and they didn't know what to do.
Well, listen, the day
a lot of people.
The day of the funeral, everyone was embracing O.J. I was watching this on TV. I couldn't believe it. I said, what are they embracing this murderer for?
It was interesting to me, too, that they released some of the transcripts of what O.J. said to the police. And, in fact, it's in the Star magazine this week, not in the regular newspapers. If it wasn't for the Inquirer and the Star, we wouldn't know what's going on.
You wouldn't know anything. The regular newspapers, I don't care what anyone tells me. The Inquirer, the Star,
these are the papers.
These are the papers. They get you information. The regular papers wait for these papers to be published.
So that they can then tell you what's going on. But the Star has transcripts of what O.J. allegedly said in that interview he had with police after he got back from Chicago.
And what did he say, Robin?
He says Nicole beat him.
Oh, Jesus. Look, man, she beat me.
She was, you don't know how good condition she was in.
Yeah.
She was strong.
She was the light heavyweight champion.
She pushed me around.
That's a good one. Yeah, you could just about push around O.J.
Oh, boy.
Nice try. Strike two.
He changed his story back and forth about the cut on his hand. First, he said he didn't know how he got it. Then he said, oh, yeah, I remember now. I was bleeding before I went to the Bronco.
Yeah, well, you know what he told? He also said, you know, this is not unusual that I bled because I bleed a lot. Did you know he said that?
No.
He really said that.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading I saw a TV report, and they said, well, why were you bleeding? He goes, that's not unusual for me. I play golf a lot, and I'm always bleeding. I'm constantly bleeding. Yeah, what guy you know plays golf and constantly bleeds?
Bloody sport, that golf.
Yeah. He didn't bleed that much when he played football. Women have periods, don't bleed that much.
So, and then they also asked him why his Bronco was parked so bizarrely on that particular night. Here's a very sharp turn into my driveway there.
Look, Nicole predicted it all. The woman knew. She predicted a lot of things.
And nobody listened to her.
You know, she predicted you wouldn't finish your book ever?
That's not true, so she's wrong about that.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, and it's been 3 years in the writing.
The two of you. Now I'm going to get on OJ's side.
Right.
How dare she predict that?
You know, she predicted that a marijuana-smoking comic would irritate a former president's daughter, and it's come to pass.
But another one of Nicole's friends, her friends have big mouths, let me say that.
That's what do you do with that? And what are their names?
Well, of course, we already heard what Faye Resnick had to say about Nicole and her life with O.J.
Wish my wife had a big mouth.
Now, another friend is talking. Cindy Adams in her column today says, Cora Fishman.
Cindy Adams, the woman who picks at the corpse.
She's gone through all the bones now.
Why couldn't O.J. go after Cindy? Vulture, she's a vulture. Female vulture, that's Cindy Adams. Waits for others to do badly and then jumps.
She's right there. She's like an undertaker.
Undertaker. Undertaker.
It's a two-way street.
Hypocrite.
It's a two-way street. She's an undertaker. An undertaker.
Two-way street. Two-way street.
It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street.
So, according to Cindy, this Cora Fishman is looking for a book deal now and has made a juicy little audio tape, I guess. She tape recorded something, and in it, she dumps on Nicole, she says. She dumps on Nicole's family, makes a dung heap, according to Cindy, of Faye Resnick, and confirms the affair with Marcus Allen. Now, Marcus Allen has come forward and said there was never any affair with Nicole, and a lot of people, especially the defense, is hoping that this Marcus Allen thing goes away because it gives O.J. a motive for the murder.
Right. Right.
Well, Cora confirms this Marcus Allen affair and says that O.J. found it demasculating.
Demasculating?
Yes, not emasculating, but demasculating.
Now, hold the dough there.
Nicole beat my equilibrium. Get the words out.
Who are you doing an impression of, O.J. or Pat Cooper?
I don't know. I'm dizzy.
The tape further confirms that Marcus Allen was stopped speeding in Oregon, and Nicole Simpson was in the car along with Allen and A.C. Cowlings.
Hold on.
A.C. is everywhere.
AC is having fun. Not
So
a people
you make
having
of
fun.
it what you will. Cora Fishman also says that Nicole was doing a lot of threesomes.
Oh.
And she says that if O.J. killed Nicole, it was because Nicole drove him to it.
Oh, I see. As if you could drive someone to kill someone.
She used O.J.
Oh. Right.
She would say things like, I have to be nice to O.J. It's Super Bowl time, and I want him to take my friends to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that would make you kill someone.
I would kill someone. who
Yeah,
did
sure.
that.
There you go. Anybody who forced me to.
And wouldn't it be justified? She also says that if something did happen to Nicole, she feels that her friend Faye Resnick probably had something to do with it.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So, lots of people talking about Nicole.
Not us. And what about this guy, Ron Goldman? Everyone's forgotten about him.
Well, apparently he had nothing going on in his life. He was just delivering some glasses and happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Did you hear the...
His poor family. What?
Did we discuss the whole cocaine thing?
What cocaine thing?
That whole story that's been going around. I don't know if
I haven't heard this. What is this?
That was a signal that they used to use, like if they wanted somebody to deliver cocaine to the house, they'd say, "Hey, bring the sunglasses."
Oh, get out of here! You know what? You know what it is? You've smoked so much pot. Everything has a drug angle with you.
Everybody that's coming over to my house for Thanksgiving, bring the sunglasses.
Here you go.
Bring
Good.
the sunglasses.
I'm turning down your microphone to protect you. No, I have not.
Oh, you want an ounce of coke? You say, "Yeah, bring the sunglasses over the house."
Coke.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think he's smashed.
How come you're
No, it
the only one
doesn't.
who knows these?
Yeah, why didn't you go to the police? Wait, I'm going to call the Los Angeles Police Department so you can tell them this, Jackie.
I'm trying to remember. Where the hell did I do?
Why didn't you call the O.J. line with that flash?
Suddenly, Jackie can't remember where he heard this. From a few of your stone loser friends.
Oh, stop with that.
Bring the sunglasses.
Nancy, invite all the losers over. I want to hear more theories.
And tell him to bring the sunglasses.
That's what the Russians said to Lee Harvey Oswald to get him to assassinate JFK. Bring the sunglasses.
Now you mark my words when this comes out at the trial.
Mark my words.
Mark my words.
Get me another chicken sandwich.
Mark my words.
My words when this comes out of the trial.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, what are you talking about? Why would that have to do anything with O.J. killing these two people?
They were doing a lot of threesomes. The guy shows up. He's
So what?
Took over the house to have a...
There was no evidence of cocaine. There's no evidence of this.
That's
Where
what's
this
in
is
the
coming
manila
out?
envelope.
What?
That's what's in the manila
What,
envelope.
cocaine?
Yes.
So they're going to prove it's whose cocaine?
Huh?
That's what's in the manila envelope.
Not mine.
I know.
That's what's in the manila envelope.
Repeat after me. I
will never do police work again.
I am. Yeah, thank you. All right, good.
I'm hanging up my detective badge.
Something about a stoned out
1 out of 12.
joke writer doing
Stone detective.
the stone detective, trailing all the wrong people.
1 out of 12.
1 out of 12, come in, please.
11 is fine.
Yeah.
I finally have a TV show.
What is it?
Jackie's better half's on the phone. She wants to fix the story.
Oh, Nancy. This is Nancy Sirianni
Trying
Martling.
to plug a commercial.
Making her first appearance in a while.
Hello. Nancy Sirianni Martling.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I didn't want to get put on the air. I just thought I would correct Jackie's story.
Go ahead.
what our friend said was that restaurant that they were at was a place where people came in and bought cocaine a lot. Like that was
let me just stop you right here.
What?
I've got to stop you here. First of all, I got to protect the restaurant. Number one, you two sit at home with these. We're making up things. This has never once been mentioned. This restaurant is 100% legitimate. Nancy, listen. Go back.
It has nothing to do with the restaurant.
Go back to managing Jackie's career. Thank you.
Come home and feed you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
She is cute. She got some ass on her. There's a party in those pants.
I want to correct the story.
Yeah, I want to correct the story. No, you just made it worse. And by the way, let me just go on record and say this is Jackie and Nancy sitting at home with drug addicts. Sitting at home and oh, come on. Sitting at home with drug addicts. And
nephews and nieces listening to this stupid show.
Yeah, well, protect them.
They don't know.
No one knows. Just sitting on the beach smoking joints in front of them.
Jetty baking.
All right, so here's the point.
Fire that bad boy up.
Look, here's the point.
Where is the point?
That the restaurant is 100%. There is no such thing as a cocaine connection to the restaurant. No one has ever. No, please,
nothing
Jackie.
to do with the restaurant.
Jackie, please. Oh, you say people would go in there? Okay, good. I don't care. No, there is just no truth in that.
No, people would never.
No, Jackie, you don't know. You are the stoned detective.
What's they say?
And you see a drug connection and everything. Good. I'm turning off your microphone before you do any more damage.
Wow,
Thank you.
Some joint. Hey, I got an idea about OJ and Coke.
His theories always include drugs.
Hold it, Jackie has a new theory. He's just got to finish his bong.
That's what he was bringing Coke. That's what's in the envelope. See the light bulb over my head?
Haven't you heard the theory?
Idea.
What's your idea now, Jackie?
Pat, you want to go to lunch?
What's your idea?
I forgot what it was. That dope was so good. Are you going to drink that bong water or what?
Do people actually drink the bong water, Jackie?
Yeah.
Or do you put it in recipes? Is that what you do?
Make brownies out of the water.
Or do you throw it in your mother's face?
You are so low.
Can I go on now that Jackie has exhausted all of his theories?
Yeah, don't talk. I'm taking his microphone off. The stone detective. Jackie the joke detective.
Co-joint.
Co-joint. Co-joint.
Who loves you, baby?
Columbong.
Columbong.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Good stuff. Oh, Hempstead Gold.
Heidi Place.
Heidi Place.
The woman who has been called the Hollywood Madam. Her trial is coming to a close, Howard. Her lawyers rested their case without calling her to the stand yesterday.
Right.
There was a videotape in this case.
Oh, really?
The prosecuting attorneys only played a small portion of the videotape. The defense, to counter, played the whole videotape.
Really?
Yes. To try to show entrapment. They keep saying that Heidi would never have agreed to these things or said these things were possible unless the police kept baiting her. That's their defense.
Well.
So here's a little bit of the testimony, actually, between one of the lawyers and one of the undercover police officers.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. You were asking her whether she would have sex, anal sex?
What I was posing was a question about her backside, and I wanted to know how she interpreted that question.
Question about her backside? Jackie, you got a theory on that?
I heard Heidi was supposed to meet Clinton at a hotel, and that this was a cover-up.
All right.
Haven't you ever heard that term? The backside is a term for coke.
Right. Yeah.
Heidi, come over and bring the sunglasses. Wink, wink, wink.
And there's more.
Where's my stash?
Tape of the trial. Some of the testimony.
Part of the discussion that you would have with this young lady would be that you would try to provoke her into saying something about what sex acts she would be willing to commit.
I don't know if I'd provoke her. I would see if that was her intentions.
See, we just give you the good parts. Backside. Sex.
I thought that was kind of cute. We'll have to see how the jury feels about that.
It's also very hypocritical, as people have pointed out, that the John is never prosecuted in anything. In other words, there are men who go to prostitutes. You're going to make prostitution illegal. You got to prosecute both sides of the story here.
Yeah, don't they arrest Jackie, both the drug dealer and the drug taker?
Jackie?
Yes, but they do arrest the prostitutes and the Johns both.
They do? But why in this case have none of the Johns been...
That I don't know the answer to. I'll have to get stoned.
All right. Right. Jackie's smoking his bong. He'll have the answer.
Did you hear that guy? Did you hear that guy say young lady? That's a code for uppers.
Okay.
Young lady.
Let's get through the rest of the news. Thank you.
Remember the former beauty queen who was accused of arming herself with a pistol, a knife, and a hammer to kill her romantic rival and her family? This former contestant in the Miss West Virginia pageant.
She's good looking, too. I saw a picture of her.
Was convicted yesterday of reduced charges. They couldn't bring themselves to convict her of the most serious charges in the case. But
because she was beautiful.
Still could get up to 6.5 years in prison. I guess they see a pretty beauty contestant. They just can't believe she really went out there to do in the whole family.
Yeah, it's hard to believe in a beautiful woman. Why should we lack of a beautiful woman? I know people serve more time for littering.
One of the jurors says it was a heat of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
She really wasn't that bad a person.
Oh, for God's sake. If someone's good looking, you get the world handed to you. What is it, Fafa Flo Live?
Did you see the report they did on her?
No.
You know, she said she didn't go out to kill the whole family.
Yeah.
But then they said on the report last night, the lighter fluid and the knife were to slice his tires and to light his car on fire, and the gun was to defend herself.
Oh.
So there were lighter fluid, knife, and a gun.
Out to stop her. The hammer was the thing that cracked me up. She also had a hammer with her.
Any theories on this, Jackie?
I heard that she was supposed to meet J. Edgar Hoover with a lid of heroin. and there was a screw up.
She was upset because one of her, I guess her ex-boyfriend had gone off with some other girl and gotten her pregnant, so she went out there to kill the girl and her family. That was the prosecution's claim anyway. When she was found, a former Secret Service agent had to put her in a headlock to disarm her after she whacked him in the head with the hammer. But she wasn't serious. She wasn't going out there to do serious damage.
You know what set her off? She went to the house and pretended that her car broke down.
Right.
And she was convinced that everything was cool, and she was about to leave. She saw a copy of Bride magazine, and she went crazy. And she claims that hitting the guy over the head with a hammer was an out-of-body experience.
Oh.
That she didn't know what she was doing.
And the jury bought it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Susan Smith will get off, too. They have released details of Susan Smith's confession, the young Union, South Carolina woman who was accused of killing her 2 young sons. In her confession, she says that she knew that the truth would prevail. But she just didn't know what else to do when she told that story about the carjacker.
Mm-hmm. She knew the truth would come out.
Emotionally upset.
I don't believe that at all.
She didn't really know what else to do.
I believe that she believed that she would get away with it. That's how crazy she is. What do you think, Jackie?
This is a job for the stone detective. Now, you know, they say murder gets easier.
What?
Murder gets easier. It gets easier for you to murder.
When?
For this woman. When she killed her kids, it was easy this time. First time it was Kennedy.
You saying she killed Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh,
the stone detective.
Stone detective.
She says it was very tough emotionally to sit and watch her family hurt the way they did when she was, lying like that. And it was like a weight being lifted off of her when she finally did confess. She claims that she killed her 2 children because she didn't want them to live without a mother.
Yeah, especially one as good as her. Right.
She says now they're with their heavenly Father, and she knows they'll never be hurt again.
Yeah, and Santa's coming.
So let's let her off, too. She was doing it for a good reason.
If she was better looking, we'd let her off.
Richard Gere's new gal pal, according to the newspaper, is very upset about the fact that Richard Gere's marriage seems to be floundering, even though Cindy Crawford's running around telling everybody her marriage is just fine. There's a young woman who is also into the Dalai Lama and is a young model.
22.
22, yes.
Hey-oh.
who has been very close to Richard Gere, and she believes in karma. So she doesn't want to hear that she's breaking up Richard Gere's marriage because she doesn't want it coming back to her.
She wants to come back as a cow.
So we're very sorry to hear that this young girl is so upset.
Meanwhile, you know the whole story on this
Richard
girl?
Gere is leaving his wife.
This girl, this model that Richard Gere is allegedly with?
Laura Bailey.
She's supposedly, her father is this college professor.
Yeah.
Who's like a genius. And he's really disappointed in his daughter for going into modeling because his daughter is supposedly some kind of genius.
Well, she was a very good academician, is what they say.
And he feels the modeling is beneath her. And he doesn't care how much money she's making as a model. He thinks it's disgusting.
Or Richard Gere. He's never seen his movie.
Yeah, he's never seen Richard Gere, doesn't know how old he is, and he's just like, you know, I don't care about any of this. My daughter should be doing something academic with her life.
He doesn't understand the whole modeling attraction.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Girl
he's
with
estranged
brains.
from her outright. She's very distant with her because he doesn't like her modeling thing. But I thought it was interesting that she doesn't want the bad karma of breaking up the marriage. But why is she sneaking out of his room every night? Just don't see the man. You won't have this problem.
You won't have any bad karma.
I thought she was smart. Very simple solution.
I said she's a good academician. Doesn't have a lot of common sense.
Let me see what else I have here. Here's a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
From the movie Junior.
That's opening this weekend.
Getting some decent reviews.
Does my body disgust you?
No.
Can you keep an open mind? I mean, really wide open. I'm pregnant. My nipples are very sensitive.
There you go.
She's a Shakespearean actress.
And there's a new Beatles collection coming out with some pre-1963 material on it.
Oh, wow, I got to get it.
Yeah, you better get a hold of that. They also have some versions of the hits that are different than the ones we've heard before.
Where are all these versions stored? I mean, all of a sudden there's versions.
George Martin, once again, I think, produced this.
I see. Is this pre-Ringo?
No, they couldn't find anything pre-Ringo. Here's how the new album starts off.
I'm Ringo and I play the drums. Well, I'm Paul and I play the bass. I'm George and I play a guitar. I'm John and I too play a guitar. Sometimes I play.
Yeah. I am thankful to be working for the greatest radio talent in the country. The greatest radio talent in the country that allows me to live a life far superior to one I would know without him.
Exactly. Thank you. Did I do Scott's plug?
Yes.
I think you had plugged everybody. We were into pizza.
All right, let's get out of here.
97.1 The Eagle, Thursday.